Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Thursday, May 6th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 81. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU Athletics Executive Chef Michael Johnson joins us at 7:30 to answer our Munchie questions, so get them in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. LSU head softball coach Beth Tarina also joins the show at 8 o'clock, and LSU head baseball coach Paul Maneri calls in at 8:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch us live on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and get inside the Bayou Ford chat. You can also check us out on Cox Sports Television. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, and welcome into OTB here on a Thursday morning. Here with Mario, Danny, and Richard. Dick Dixon filling in for T-Bob Hebert. Dick Dixon, appreciate you waking up bright and early.
Oh man, I'm up usually, just not talking this much.
That's what everybody says. We have no proof of that.
Better.
We have no proof.
You know a little bit better.
But we don't have any proof. That's why we had the smell and salt out this morning. We are ready to go.
That stuff burns.
Always excited about Thursday's show. We slide into the series, as Mario mentioned, with Beth Tarina and Coach Paul Maneri a little bit later. Of course, your Munchies questions coming up in about 30 minutes from now. Rivs comes in for the 9 o'clock hour. We've got a lot to get to. We've got some news to get to. And let's go ahead and do the news in headlines brought to you by Barbecue Guys.
OTB headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. They're your one-stop shop for everything outdoor kitchens and living. Barbecue Guys, helping America host better barbecues since 1998.
All right, some big news in LSU football. LSU sophomore quarterback TJ Finley is entering his name into the NCAA transfer portal, according to Reggie Chapman of WBRZ and other sources. Finley, of course, started 5 games for LSU in 2020, was replaced by Max Johnson. This is not a surprise that you have an LSU quarterback entering the transfer portal. It's also not a surprise that it is TJ Finley. I think we all assume that it's going to be Miles Brennan or Max Johnson. That's the starter for LSU. TJ did some nice things in some of his starts. Obviously, we remember the South Carolina game, and he was a true freshman, so not going to hold him to some of the bad games because, again, thrown to the wolves a little bit after Miles got injured. This is someone who I believe does have a lot of talent, but for what LSU wants to do, what Jake Peetz wants to do, he did feel like he was always going to be the odd man out.
Yeah, I think TJ is going to be successful wherever he goes. I like the kid. I mean, we worked at football camp with him earlier in the year, and he was just such a nice young man. And you know, it's a problem to have, but it's a problem you want to have. You want to have multiple quarterbacks who are talented in the quarterback room. When you bring in 2 quarterbacks as highly talented as they were, it's going to happen. I mean, you don't have too many more days where you can bring in Jamarcus Russell and Matt Flynn, and they both stick it out the whole time they're here and finish at LSU. It's just, you knew it was going to happen, but you know, best of luck to TJ. I hope he's successful wherever he goes, and I'm looking forward to continue watching him.
Completed 57% of his passes, 941 yards, 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions in his freshman season. And this is not like it typically would be, where we're talking about, okay, he's probably trying to be eligible right now. Is he going to go to one of the Southland schools that's nearby? Remember, with the NCAA transfer rules now in place, I mean, it's pretty much open to wherever he wants to go. So I am sure that he's reaching out to some of the other schools that he had major contact with during the recruiting cycle. And this is someone that does have a lot of tape out there. Yeah. So for other schools, they have 5 starts, 5 SEC starts, so they can go back. And, of course, they got the spring game action, so they can kind of get a book out on TJ. I expect him to land somewhere pretty quickly.
Do you think he stays in the SEC? I mean, with that transfer rule, I know it's one free transfer. Does it have anything to do with conference related? Because that was the one thing that used to be a little trick. So
that's something that's in the conference office right now. So he'll have his opportunities, though. He'll have his opportunities to kind of go wherever.
Well, I just don't want him to. I think TJ's great. I think he's gonna be really good. As a freshman, I don't care really what he did out there. He went out there and won some games with a team that was, let's be honest, the worst LSU team we've had in a long time. and he led them to a victory. Now, did he have a couple of errors as far as turnovers? And that's one thing that probably got him out of the role where he was. He won that starting job over Max Johnson for a reason. He lost it because of turnovers. And I think he's a guy that's going to be very talented. He's young. He's going to continue to grow.
All right, we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. LSU basketball news. LSU center Josh Gray has entered his name into the NCAA transfer portal, according to multiple sources. Gray, a 6'11 freshman from Brooklyn, New York, played in just 10 games last season, averaging less than a point and 1.2 rebounds per game. We never really knew him. He came in a couple of times. There was one game within the SEC when LSU had a ton of injuries and he got only a couple of minutes of action. You could kind of tell, especially in basketball, because it is a sport where if you've got the juice and the coaches feel good about you, you're going to play right away.
Freshmen dominate.
You're going to play right away. He never felt like he got in the good graces of Will Wade. It didn't fit. And because LSU desperately needed length last year.
I was about to say.
He was length, but he was on the bench. And so no surprise here again for another player entering his name into the NCAA transfer portal. And you'll hear more from Will Wade bringing guys in from the portal. We've already heard 3 names that he's brought into Baton Rouge.
No, I think you said it all. For a team that was so desperate for a tall guy, length, a guy that get in there and get rebounds, you got a 6'11 guy that couldn't get on the court. I don't think it's going to be missed much.
All right, in LSU golf news, the number 23 LSU men's golf team earned the number 4 seed at the NCAA Tallahassee Regional. Will now take place May 17th to the 19th at the Seminole Legacy Golf Club. The event will be hosted, of course, in Tallahassee, Florida. LSU is making its 13th straight NCAA regional appearance since 2008 and 14th in the last 15 seasons under Coach Winstead. LSU golf has been really, really good as of late, and we got reminded of that. Sam Burns over the weekend wins the Valspar, and this doesn't have anything to do with LSU golf, but I was interviewing Sam yesterday on our SEC channel. $1.2 million for that Valspar win.
Good for him.
And again, I told him, just like I told our audience the other day on Monday, if your kid wants to pick up a golf club, allow him to. And if he picks up anything else, slap it out of his hand.
I think it's $1.2 million for one tournament, but I mean it took him a long time to get there. There's a lot of
money. He's 24.
Yeah, I know, but how long has he been playing? 20, 21? I don't know anything about golf. Dude. I don't watch it, but
he's 24.
Reading this right now, 14th of the last 15 seasons under Coach Winstead. There's not enough people talking about LSU golf. That's pretty dominant right now, and I didn't realize it was that good. We should spend way more time talking about LSU golf.
And we actually do. Almost every morning we have them in headlines.
I've done shows with you for 3 years, and we haven't hardly talked about it.
I said on this show, things are new. There's a new dynamic here. I said on this show during headlines, this is where we talk about the women's golf team is in headlines all the time.
Well, yeah.
They're not today, but they are normally.
Well, good for you for making that. After 14th of the last 15 seasons, you're going to start talking about them now, and I think that's good for you, Jake. You haven't done it the last couple of years.
All right, in New Orleans Pelicans news, forward Brandon Ingram avoided a major ankle injury on Tuesday night, but will miss Friday's game against the 76ers. The team said Ingram has a left low ankle sprain, better than having a high one, as we all know. A MRI on Wednesday confirmed the injury. His status is now day-to-day. The Pelicans are 1.5 games behind the Spurs, who are on a 5-game losing streak for 10th place in the West. San Antonio does own the tiebreaker. There's 8 games left for the Spurs and 6 games left for the Pels. So, conspiracy theorists like to try to, get the red dots in the line and figure things out. If Pelicans go 5-1, the Spurs would have to go 3-5 or worse. If Pelicans go 4-2, obviously the Spurs would have to go 2-6 or worse. So, we're all fans of Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance, Mario? How you feeling about the Pels?
Cue the Jim Carrey. Feeling pretty good, Hester. That was a big-time win against Golden State the other night. To be down by 10 points in the last 3 minutes to come back and win that game without Brandon Ingram at least gives the Pelicans a fighter's chance here. Now, it's interesting. The Spurs have the toughest schedule left in the NBA out of all the remaining teams. That's the good news. But the bad news is the Pelicans have the 4th toughest remaining schedule in the entire NBA. So, at the very least, things are getting interesting here for the Pels, Hester.
I think it's funny that you're just breaking down how you can, win the tiebreaker for 10th place in the West. I mean, good God, the Pelicans are terrible. I don't even know why they're on the headlines. I mean, they're a team that I hope they lose the rest of them. At least they get a better chance of getting a higher pick because 10th place. When you're talking about battling for 10th place in your division or conference or whatever the side is, that's pretty bad.
Well, Dixon, it's a really young team. And
Don't get Mario mad.
Even if they do go to the playoffs and get thwacked, which
LSU was
happen.
a young team last year, and everybody blasted them.
That's
Mario
true.
is a Pelicans apologist. Do not get him angry.
I mean, T-Bob probably.
No, T-Bob's the worst.
Yeah, I was about to say T-Bob. I mean, he will try to make you become a Pelicans fan, and every time there's a little bit of hope, they let you down, they disappoint you, and that's why Pelicans are not taking off yet.
Well, it's a new era. Second year, David Griffin. See what happens. And again, LSU did have a bad season last year, but hopefully they're better for it next year.
I love your
baby.
enthusiasm.
Pump in the sunshine. Let's go. All right, I'm going to add one here because it just came across. In LSU women's hoops news, and this doesn't, well, it kind of has to do with Kim Mulkey because it's now all going to have to do with Kim Mulkey. Hannah Gusters is one of 27 players invited to attend the 2021 USA Basketball U19 World Cup team trials May 14th to the 16th in Denver. If you don't know that name and you're wondering who is that, that's because that is the transfer that Kim Mulkey just got from Baylor to come over. Not often can you get a transfer to come from one school to your school, and that transfer gets invited, one of only 27 players to be invited into the USA Basketball U19 World Cup.
The talent follows her. I mean, we haven't talked about a LSU women's player going to that in a long time. Mulkey comes here, and she brings one of her former players, and now we got talent on the team again.
All right, that is your headlines brought to you by Barbecue Guys. As I mentioned, we've still got to break down TJ Finley in this news and where that leaves LSU, where we think maybe TJ could land. We've got a big show planned. Munchies coming up in about 17 minutes. So we'll be back. OTB. Don't go anywhere.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, since 1977, Donsonville Glass and Body is a place that you know and you can trust. DonsonvilleGlassandBody.com is the website, and they are literally your one-stop shop for any of your vehicle's needs, right? If you, obviously, collision repair, well, they're the best in the state, and T-Bob and I always tell you we'll put that on anything, but they can fix anything, right? If your car's not working, if it's at your house or your place of business, in fact, they will send the tow truck, pick it up, and drop it off free of charge, right? They're going to be transparent through this entire process. Sometimes in this business, you don't get that, but you get that over at DGB. When I dealt with them, they called me and told me exactly what was wrong with my car, what it was going to take to get it back on the road, how much everything was going to cost, because they don't want to surprise you with this huge bill. They want to make sure they're transparent throughout this entire process. Remember, they also, if you need a new windshield, if you've got a chip, if you need a brand new windshield, that's something they can do, because when we say one-stop shop, we mean it over at DGB. That's DonsonvilleGlassandBody.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana Products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 20.
Join us for our Thursday's edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time, presented by Bed Rivers, live from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Hanny and Roscoe will join Jimmy and Dwayne Colucci's hockey picks. We got action. It's Game Time. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back into OTB. About 15 minutes away from Munchies questions, so go ahead and get those in. Chef Michael Johnson will answer those here coming up. Dick Dixon, your first time Munchies question asker?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you've been on with T-Bob before I was on the show, and you've co-hosted with T-Bob before.
Yeah, I mean, when you name a segment Munchies, you know that T-Bob has something to do with it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
All right, we're going to continue talking about this TJ Finley news, and if you missed it in headlines or if you were just under a rock yesterday in Baton Rouge and didn't see it.
I was moving and saw it.
Okay, so if you were moving and saw it, everybody saw it. And Cinco de Mayo.
That's
Could have been deep in the cup.
That is very true. We had to go get to-go margaritas for everybody that's helping out move the house. Thanks, Jake, for helping out. I mean, yeah. You didn't help.
Do we want to put you on blast? I'll pull a T-Bob. I'll show where there was never a text saying, "Hey, we're moving."
I know you were busy. I know you had people over for dinner last night, and yeah,
which you were invited to.
I knew other people were working. I took off the rest of the week just to get it done.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm just picking with you, man.
I've had double radio shows.
I know you're a busy
all
guy.
Week, and if you want to listen to College Sports Today at 12. From 12 to 3 on ESPNU Radio, Channel 84. You can.
Shameless plug.
Today. All right. So it's TJ Finley news. He's in the transfer portal. That's not surprising. But I wanted to talk more about it because now it's okay. Let's react to it a little bit. One domino's fallen. Not surprising. So now you have to make sure that two dominoes.
Brennan has to win the starting job.
That's
the only way.
That's the best case scenario.
Only way it works.
Is if Miles wins the starting job, he's your guy, goes out there, plays extremely well, and we're hearing his name in next year's NFL draft.
Yeah, it's the only way it works. If Miles gets beat out, Miles is transferring for his last year, and you're down to two scholarship quarterbacks. You're another injury away from having a true freshman. You'll have a sophomore and a true freshman on the roster. It's not how you're going to have build dominance in the SEC. You got to get to a point where you have talent that it sticks around. And I know it's tough when you bring in two guys back to back, and then you have guys that's talented. Then you get the one guy injured. They all play. You knew one of the guys was going to leave. But, I mean, to me, Miles Brennan has to win it, or we're going to be in another quarterback issue.
It's where we're at in college football. This is not only going to be an LSU problem. LSU actually very fortunate that they recruited 4 good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And they had 3 that they knew could play and have moments in the SEC because they saw 3 last year. And then you bring in Garrett Nussmeier, who did really well in spring, and in the spring game you could see the flashes. You could see why LSU liked him so much. And does he need more polishing? Yes, absolutely. But there's going to be a problem across college football. What if you're a school that you've got two you feel really good about, and then the third one, you recruited him, you loved him at one time, but you're like, there's no way he can play here, right? And so then you're always going to be in the market for quarterback.
Make him feel like he's still got that chance because
Look,
you got to have somebody around.
You can lie as much as you want, but you know this, being a former player for LSU yourself.
You know it.
After camp, or not even after camp, after spring, and then in the summertime, you start to feel it. If you're that guy, the odd man out, you start to feel it.
When coaches quit talking to you and you quit getting corrected and quit getting yelled at, they no longer care about you, and it's kind of obvious. But yeah, I think it's funny with Nussminger coming over here. It's like a trend. They want to follow that Joe Burrow trend, a guy whose dad was a coach. Then you bring in Max Johnson, a guy whose dad is a player. You get Nussminger, his dad's a quarterback coach for the Cowboys, or was at some point. It's a trend that they're trying to get. I think they feel confident with those type of guys bringing in. And I've liked it so far because they're all talented guys. And I'm just praying that Miles wins the job. I'm excited for him. I want another Mississippi guy to be successful at LSU.
There it is.
Yeah, I'm a homer. But I like Miles. And for a guy that stuck around this long, you don't see that happen too often these days. And we're talking about the transfer portal, how it's going to be a problem for everyone. What hasn't been a problem for LSU? I mean, you've had a guy that was, believed in you, stuck with you. Even though, imagine another guy who sticks around that's that talented for 4 years, gets hurt, has to come back and play another one. I mean, to me, everybody should be wanting Miles Brennan to win that job and be successful this year.
I think with the new rules, with the transfer rules that just were passed by the NCAA, the days of not signing a quarterback in any class, those are completely gone.
No, you have to sign one every year.
You always wanted to get one, but if you had a year out of every 4 that you didn't, you're like, okay, we can deal with that. We can absorb that. We'll be okay. Now you can't do that. Now you've got to get one, and you try your damnedest to get 2 in almost every class. Almost you get that top-tier guy, and then you pull a fast one on him, and you go get the guy who grew up purple and gold glasses on. He wants nothing more to play at LSU. That's a good player. Maybe he's not the 5-star, and you got to get 2 of those guys almost in every class now, just so you don't ever get in a situation where, let's call it doomsday. Let's call it doomsday as far as how many quarterbacks you have left. And you have 2 quarterbacks left out of the 4. And as we saw, like Miles got hurt against Missouri last year, your starter gets hurt, and then Garrett Nussmeier, true freshman, you're up. We've seen true freshmen play. The true freshman part of it is a little worrisome, but the doomsday is, what if he goes down?
You're bringing somebody
else. Then John Trey Kirkland becomes
the new quarterback.
Your quarterback. So it's going to always be a numbers game at every position in college football now, but at that position, the main position, there's going to be a focus and a path that you kind of got to change the way you've always done things to make sure you don't fall into that situation.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about bringing 2 in. I know that, last year it happened. I think that's where you always start with issues because one of those guys is going to leave at some point. And I know you're saying go get the guy with the purple and gold glasses. Well, LSU's done that in the past. They went and got was a guy Lindsey Scott or a guy from local, and even he didn't stick around. He ended up transferring to Pearl River, then Mizzou. Now I think he's at Nichols, being successful. But to me, it's like you have to get one every year, and you have to get a talented quarterback. I think you go out and get the best quarterback you can get every single year because you're going to redshirt one. And I think that a redshirt quarterback is probably what you should do with all quarterbacks. I know everybody wants to come in and they get the feelings hurt if you get redshirt because they think that it's a slide against them that they're not good enough. But to me, gaining that knowledge, being a little bit more mature, getting in the weight room, it's something that all quarterbacks should want to do. And I think that you can't go out there recruiting that way because kids all think that they're the next best thing and should be playing as a freshman. But I think that to have success at the quarterback position, that's what you need to do.
All right, hey, Mr. Mississippi, you said Pearl River. It's East Mississippi Community College.
Oh, yeah, that's not mine. I'm a Mississippi Gulf Coast guy, Bulldogs.
Oh, now it's excuses.
Yeah.
I got you. All right, so
13th and 14th grade in my high school.
Yeah. The best case scenario is obviously LSU starts the season, finish the season with 3 of the quarterbacks, and it seems like the path to get there, Miles your starter, and then Max, and then Garrett. And then remember, you do have reinforcements coming. You do have Walker Howard, who's already committed. And there's a lot of quarterbacks coming up in this state that are really talented 4-star, 5-star players. So the talent within the state at the quarterback position is really at an all-time high. And you've continued to do really well in recruiting Louisiana and out-of-state, obviously Max and Miles and Garrett all being out-of-state players. But I'm talking about the group that's coming up in Louisiana. You got some really talented players.
Is it one of the most talented back-to-back years for quarterback recruiting in Louisiana? I know you got Walker Howard, then you got Manning, which – I just can't see a Manning playing at LSU. I would love it. I would hope for it. But as much as they hate LSU, the family members have hated LSU.
Hate LSU? You mean? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay.
Peyton and Eli were here the other day.
Did either one of them play here, being from New Orleans?
They did not.
Okay, thank you. But
that means they hate LSU.
That's okay. I would love for it, but I don't know if you're going to get that. When you're talking about five-star, I don't know if LSU's to the point where they can sign a back-to-back five-star quarterbacks.
Yeah, and then there's a kid out of Calvary Baptist up in North Louisiana who is somebody who's kind of getting to that point as well. So the quarterback prospects in the state are extremely healthy. All right, we will take our next break. When we come back, Chef Michael Johnson joins us. So go ahead and get all of your Munchie questions inside the Bayou Ford chat. My man Danny's putting all those together. We'll get to as many as we can coming up next with Chef here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to AdvantageClean.com. We always tell you, yes, in that doomsday situation, right, when things are a hot mess, you walk in and there's water everywhere, mold damage, fire damage, whatever it might be, of course, Advantage Clean is your first call before you call anyone else, before you call the insurance company, right? But also, we always tell you, get a plan in place. If you're a business owner, get a plan in place. They come out and they know your space. That way, if that does happen, they know exactly what to do because they've already got it drawn out. And you don't miss as many days. You might not miss any days. And as we know, if you're a business owner, the last thing you want to do is miss out on any potential revenue after what we all just went through in the last year, because everyone missed revenue if you own a business. So make sure Advantage Clean, AdvantageClean.com is the website. And also remember, if you just want to get your business sanitized, right? After the mask mandate is lifted and you want to get your business sanitized, you can do that as well. AdvantageClean.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned vehicles, with prices starting as low as $5,000. Bayou Ford will get you the transparent information you're looking for, and when you're ready to purchase your new vehicle, provide the professional service you deserve. Located off I-10 on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At front to back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to front to back boat service.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Full hour of football talk with Mike Detillier, and we'll preview LSU Auburn from the Plains. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. Chef Michael Johnson is back on OTB. Brought to you by Barbecue Guys. Barbecue Guys is your one-stop shop for everything outdoor kitchens and living. Send your questions into the Bayou Ford YouTube chat using the hashtag Munchies.
All right, welcome back into OTB. You heard it there. Chef Michael Johnson joins us now to answer your Munchies questions. Chef, what's going on? How are you this morning?
Morning, guys. How are y'all?
Doing well. Before we get to the listeners' questions, T-Bob is on vacation in Cabo. So if you were in Cabo, what would you be having for breakfast this morning?
You know, I've been to Cabo before, and I think the best thing that I've ever eaten there was the conch ceviche. And this guy, he walked out into the water and snorkeled out, brought the conch back in, and they made ceviche right there in front of us. And obviously, we had to wait for it to cook itself. But conch ceviche on the beach in Cabo was something really fantastic.
Sounds pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, hashtag Munchies. Most you will pay for a taco. This is always a really heated discussion, Chef.
The most I'd pay is
the most you would pay for a taco.
Oh man, I guess it depends on where I'm at and how good the taco is. I might pay, $5 or $6 for a taco if it was that good. I don't know, maybe more. I guess it depends on what's in it, man.
Yeah, look, you've got big taco fans. Me and Danny. I don't know, Mario, big taco fan.
I enjoy tacos.
Okay, yeah. So
what's a high price for a taco?
I don't know, but a good fish taco, I'll go up all the way up to like $8. Chef, is that too much?
Oh yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, if it's good quality ingredients, I mean, it's all in the mind of the beholder, right? Like if it's worth it to you, then what the heck?
I think $8 is right there reasonable. If you're talking about a good fish taco, the money's not in the rice and beans that come with on the side.
Yeah,
and you're going to get 2 to 3. And a good fish taco, you pay 18 to $20. But I'm just trying to break it down where I've actually paid for it.
Yeah, hey, you don't want to pay $2 for a fish taco. That means you're probably not getting the best fish there inside that taco. All right, hashtag Munchies. Peanuts, almonds, or cashews favored as a snack?
Well, I have 2 kids that are allergic to nuts or tree nuts, and
so neither, none,
that's tough.
All the above, gone.
Right.
Terrible question.
I don't keep them around the house too often, but if I'm going with one, it's probably going to be a cashew. I kind of like the texture of it.
I agree.
All right, hashtag Munchies. If you could travel back in time and be the first person to create a dish, which dish would you create? That's a pretty good question.
Can you repeat? You're breaking up.
So you're traveling back in time, and you're going to be the first person to ever create a dish. Which dish would it be?
That's a good question. I've always been really interested in French fries, and like the guy that created the French fry is a phenom to me, and they're not really French at all. They were created by an American. So, if I was going to take the credit, I think it would really be about taking the credit for it, right? Like the French fry is something absolutely amazing to me, and I don't know, I would probably like to have the credit for that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a solid answer. I had a debate the other day in a group chat with the family. One has to go pizza or French fries. I said, look, I love pizza. French fries ain't going anywhere.
French fries are the best.
No, I'm with you. Yeah.
All right, hashtag Munchies. What dish are you making for your mother/wife this Mother's Day?
It's a good question. I shouldn't say too much here. I'm actually on my way to surprise my mother for Mother's Day. So
nice.
I don't know if I'm going to be cooking for her or not, but I'm going to make an appearance for her and just be there. And if I get the opportunity to cook, I will. But we usually, my mom is just a fan of Italian food in general. She's an Italian woman, so it'll definitely be pasta dish or something of that nature.
All right, hashtag Munchies. What is something you never want to taste again?
Well, you guys have heard me talk about durian fruit. It's probably the worst thing that I've ever had run across my palate. It's interesting because it's really sweet, but the smell of it is just awful. And when you can't, there's no plugging your nose to a durian fruit. It smells like a garbage dumpster.
No, I mean there's some foods, Chef, that I can power through if I like the taste, and I know I'm in the vast minority here. Like Vienna sausages is something. Going hunting and fishing when I was growing up, you grabbed a can and you ate them.
Right.
Didn't smell great, but I ate them. Like I can deal with that, but when I hear you talk about that, I'm out.
It doesn't matter. If it's never gonna make it to my mouth if I can smell it from that far away.
Yeah.
It'll completely block it from going anywhere close.
There are hotels in Chicago and in Chi-Town that have no durian fruit posted on the walls, like in brass signs. And you know it's serious when they post it in a brass sign that it's not going anywhere and it's serious. Like don't come in this place with durian. Yep.
Yeah, that's awful. All right, hashtag Munchies. Pork cracklings or chicken cracklings?
Oh man, that's tough.
I mean, you can say both because I mean they're both delicious.
You know, yeah, I'm a fan of chicken. I guess. Well, I'm a fan of both. That's a tough question.
I just had chicken cracklings for the first time.
Yeah, man, that's a tough question. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on where you're buying them from. You know, like Billy's has some damn good.
Billy's so good.
Yeah, I mean, when I stop at Billy's, I get chicken. You know, I can pass up the pork for the chicken, so I guess I'm going to land on chicken.
And if you pass up pork, that means the chicken is doing something right.
I'm telling you. That's right.
All right, hashtag Munchies. If you had to have one last drink in this lifetime, what would it be, where would it be, and who would it be with?
A drink?
A drink. So I'm assuming a cab, a cold adult beverage, with someone. Yeah. Where would it be, and what would it be?
Man, that's a good question. You know, I mentioned it before a couple of weeks ago. I think I would like to have a drink with my grandfather.
Yeah.
I never had that opportunity. Like I've drank beer with my dad, and we sat down and had good conversations, but I never really had that opportunity with my grandfather. So I think the drink mattered not what it is. It most likely would be a bourbon for me, but honestly, if my grandfather said, let's drink a beer, it'd be a beer. But I think it would be with him and on the porch, you know, wherever it was comfortable and quiet and enjoyable.
Absolutely. I love that answer. All right. Hashtag Munchies. Do you have any techniques or recipes for octopus?
So there's a couple of different ways you can go about octopus. One is if you have octopus and it's fresh, which is kind of hard to find fresh octopus, you can go really super high and hot and grill it quickly and just sear it. The other way is otherwise it gets really tough. The other way is to stew it down and cook it slow and low for a good amount of time. And, a little red wine, what you do is you put the octopus in the pan while it's nice and hot, you sear it and it's going to render the liquid out of it, and then put a little red wine. I like orange juice in with my octopus, and then olives, and it goes Italian for me. So just slow and low. You got to stew it to tenderize it. Yep.
All right, orange juice. That is something new. Hadn't heard that one before. So you know way more than I do.
Orange juice is acidic, right? So it helps break it down. Yep.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Hashtag Munchies. Is there any one chef whose food you love, respect over anyone else's?
Ethan Stoll in Seattle is a guy that I really enjoy his food, and he has a gang of, an army of people that work underneath of him, but I really enjoy eating his food. He's an Italian background chef, and anytime I go to Seattle, I make sure that I can go stop by and see him.
All right, this is going to be one just from me. Has there ever been a time when you've gone and you've eaten at a restaurant and it's been surprisingly, like, just fantastic, or not even surprisingly, just it's been so good, and you being in the business, you've been, hey, I've got to go talk to the chef. I've got to tell him what he just did on this plate.
Absolutely. Yeah, multiple times. Actually, one of the times was on a cruise. I was completely blown away with the food on a cruise. We had my ex and I it was actually on our honeymoon. We had just gotten married and didn't really care for the company of the people that were sitting across from us. So we upgraded to the Scarlet Room on the boat, and it was just a superb meal. Like everything everything was fresh. When you're on a boat like that, they pick everything up at port, and the food was fresh. It was clean. It was just incredible. And I actually talked to the chef that day. Just wanted to tell him thank you and everything else. And I ended up getting a tour through the kitchen of the boat, which is a really difficult thing to happen. Like they don't bring tourists in the kitchen of the boat for fear of bacteria or virus spreading in there. And obviously, this was a long time ago. That's not going to happen these days. But it was a really cool experience, you know, to be invited into the kitchen of a cruise ship. It was unbelievable.
Cruise ship. That is. I mean, that's because, as you know, because you've done this before, how many people you're cooking for as well, and what the prep. Because what was the number? What was the most you ever cooked for in one night?
Well, it was 45,000. That was an Amazon event, and that was.
God.
Yeah, that was. It gives me PTSD. Just thinking
I couldn't make oatmeal for 45,000 people.
Right.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
All right. Beef or pork grillade, best way to cook it, to cook your selection.
Say that again now.
Beef or pork grillade, best way to cook your selection.
Yeah, you know, I like to dust it in flour or maybe even a potato starch or something like that first, and then sear it, brown it, and then add the liquid in. And it's got to be a flavorful liquid, not just water, like some kind of soup, some kind of base or stock or whatever you have. And you know, I batter my grillade well enough or flour it well enough that I don't like to add flour into the dish or make a roux or whatever. I like just enough flour on the oh goodness, that's a red light. Sorry. Yep, that just happened. I like.
Hey, send the ticket to Gordy Rush. He'll pay for it.
That. I have his number.
There you go.
Yeah, so you know, enough flour on the pork or the beef or whatever that you're using to thicken the sauce as it stews down. That's the priority there.
All right, so there's one coming in, and I actually want to know this one as well because I might be the biggest fan of fish and chips in Baton Rouge. So what's the best way to fry the fish for those fish and chips? And I guess what kind of fish do you always go with?
I like in the Pacific Northwest we use cod, but down here, like if I had speckled trout, I'd use speckled trout every time. Like I just love speckled trout. Now that I think where it's gonna boil down to is if you like a dry batter or a wet batter, and me particularly over, you know, if I'm going English style fish and chips, it's going to be like a beer batter, something that you put a beer in, it creates foam and fluff and creates a nice, you know, light batter. I'm going to go with a wet batter and you know, make sure that it's fried well.
All right, see if we can get two more in here. Hashtag Munchies. Is there a recipe that you will not share with anyone?
You know, I'm usually pretty open about my recipes, but I do have a recipe for a coffee rub that I never really actually share all the ingredients with anybody. There's one other guy on earth, I think, that probably knows what that ingredient is because he and I created it together in the kitchen. But there is one that I hold it pretty close to heart.
All right, last one. Hashtag Munchies. Best smoothie ingredients for a healthy drink. So if you're putting together, let's say, okay, here we go. Since you cook for all the LSU athletes, if they said, hey, put this smoothie together, we've got this elite athlete about to have their championship tomorrow, what would you put in the smoothie?
Well, that's a good question. You know, I think it's going to have a variety of different things in it. You know, like needs something sweet in it so that it covers the bitter of the greens. It's definitely going to have some greens in it, maybe some turnip greens in it. But apple, carrot, grapes, probably a nectarine or something of that nature to kind of pull through as well. You know, it's going to have a variety of colors in it that just offers a lot of different types of nutrients so that you're getting the full value out of it. You know, some local honey just for feel good because I like honey and I like the qualities that it offers. No sugar whatsoever. It's all going to be sweetened by the natural sweetness of the fruit. But it's going to have lots of greens in it for you know, texture and fiber and whatnot. And I also like to keep the pulp in my smoothie. I don't like to pull the pulp out. I think that, you know, to keep that fibrous material in there just offers something to the digestion process. So something along those lines.
All right, there he is, Chef Michael Johnson, executive chef for LSU Athletics. Always one of my favorite segments of the week. Chef, we appreciate it, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Every time we do that, one, I learn something. Two, I get intrigued by something he's talking about. And three, I get hungry as hell.
Coffee rub.
I want grits now.
Grits would be great.
I want grits right now.
I want to try something with that coffee rub. That just sounds interesting.
But he said that was the one like he wasn't going to share.
Well, then can he
of all the things he said that's the one you're not getting.
He's not going to share it, but can he make it for us?
Oh, he could do that.
Okay, that's all I'm asking.
He can definitely do that. Do you think we can still get into the dining hall?
Yeah, you probably can make that happen.
All right, we'll take a break. Again, we're sliding into the series brought to you by Small Sliders. Here in about 15 minutes, we'll start with Coach Beth Torina. Of course, Coach Paul Maneri will join us as well. Still a big show. Ribs coming in at 9. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
I go to AccuTempBR.com. That's AccuTempBR.com. That is service to the highest degree that you're going to get from AccuTemp. 4.9 rating on Google with thousands of reviews. That's almost impossible to do in 2021 to make that many people happy, but that's what they do over at AccuTemp. I can tell you, when I came onto this show, I became a member of AccuTemp. I became a member of their program, right? And so they came out for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and you've heard me tell the story. I thought my air conditioning unit was working fine. I was just getting them to come out and check everything out, kind of be a part of this program. And they said, hey, you've got something going on. You've got a starter that is not performing like it should. They showed me the numbers. They were transparent with it. They said, look, you're at a 6.9. You got to be at a 7.5, and it's costing you extra money on your utility bill every single month. It was a $100 fix, and now I'm saving money every single month. That's what you get over at AccuTemp. That's AccuTempBR.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Join us for our Thursday's edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time, presented by Bed Rivers, live from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Hanny and Roscoe will join Jimmy and Wayne Colucci's hockey picks. We got action. It's Game Time. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back into Off the Bench here with our guys Mario Danny, Richard Dick Dixon filling in for the vacationing T-Bob Abear. About to slide into the series brought to you by Small Sliders here in about 10 minutes from now. But, of course, got a couple of things inside the Bayou 4 chat that we want to get to before we take our last break of our number one. One comes in for Tricky Dicky here. Did you know your high school football coach was an analyst at Southeastern Louisiana? That's Steve Jones.
Coach Steve Jones. I think he's coaching he was at a meet for a minute. He's kind of bounced around to get all the he's already retired in Mississippi. He's done all his years there, so now he can take retirement, come over to Louisiana and coach. He was at Hammond for a minute. He might still be at Hammond. I'm not sure. I was supposed to go speak to the team last year, then COVID happened, and it didn't happen, but I'm sure Coach Jones will reach back out to me.
All right. Ask Richard. We all know about the flagship debate about which Mississippi school is more important to the state, but I'd argue that LSU best represents the coast. Would you agree with that?
No doubt. That's why I'm here. I mean, it's a 2.5-hour drive from the coast. Mississippi State was 4.5. Ole Miss was, close to 4:45. And being a guy that my dad played at Mississippi State, my grandfather played at Ole Miss, and then me and my brother both grew up on the coast and both ended up at LSU.
Which one would you – okay, so you've got Mississippi State and Ole Miss ties all over your family.
Yeah.
If you had to say, all right, take LSU out of it, because I do agree, the Gulf Coast, I'd even say Southern Miss is in that argument. Which one is the premier university? And remember what we've got coming up today on the show. Which one, though, is the premier university in the state of Mississippi? Premier
university. I'm going Mississippi State. I would have, that was my childhood team growing up. They were dominant college baseball at the time. Will Clark, Rafael Palmeiro were reasons. I remember when I went to go meet Will Clark when he was playing for the Rangers. And, I was decked out in Mississippi State gear when I was a kid. That they were actually, what was that, a few years ago when Dak Prescott was there, ranked number one in football for a week or so. I'm going with Mississippi State.
That's not just because you're going to pass Rivers in the hallway hearing about.
I forgot about that. Yeah, no. See, that was just being honest.
That was just organically. Okay. Ask Richard, which teammate did you want to beat the most in practice?
Did I want to beat the most?
Yeah, beat. So I guess someone maybe got under your skin a little bit. Teammate that you wanted to make sure that you
me
had
and Tremaine Johnson went at it every day. Fist fought. I mean, every single day. And I love T-Main, but he got under my skin at practice because he would do some dirty stuff as a D lineman. He was the guy that would always grab right up underneath your jersey so he could punch you in the throat when he was doing that stuff. And then he would always try to hold you coming off the line. And I remember one time we were running the naked, and it was the only
naked.
Yeah, we were running the naked.
Naked.
Where I slammed down, and it was one of those deals. I think Coach Miles and his repeats love to repeat it. And we went to go do the same play the next time, and he grabbed me by my jersey and wouldn't let me off and pulled me to the ground. It was the only time in history that when he pulled me down, I mean, I just went straight to it. Started punching him in the face nonstop, and Miles didn't get mad at me. And they made T-Main run.
There you go. I will say the teammate I hated the most to go against was Quinn Johnson.
Oh, no doubt.
And Quinn is one of the best human beings God ever put on this earth. But he would be chilling as a linebacker before he moved to fullback on scout team, and he was a damn brick wall. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't move him. He might be the most naturally strong football player I ever played with.
I was fortunate.
In the weight room, he was strong, country strong, but
he
just
was just
naturally
heavy-headed.
strong.
I mean, heavy-headed. You hit him, and it was like you hitting a brick wall.
Yeah, look, I mean, the top of his head to the bottom of his feet weighed the same amount. He was just – that's how he was built. And
I
you
never
weren't
had
move
to do that. He played fullback the whole time I was
God
there.
bless.
And he always say, you fly.
If
he fly, you fly.
If he would have played fullback, I mean, he played a long time in the NFL. I think he played 6-7 years. But if he would have like played fullback in high school, and then once he got to college and like all growing up, he might have. I honestly mean this. He might have been one of the best blocking fullbacks of all time.
There's no doubt. And if he just grows up in a different era, he's in a Hall of Fame fullback.
He was
what they used to do. I mean, he was the guy that when he blocked somebody, everybody heard it. It was such a crack when he hit somebody. And like you said, he didn't even have to be trying in practice. He would literally try not to hurt you when it would hurt you. I mean, he was just so talented.
We got somebody asking about 4-inch Teflon gate valves inside the chat. Richard,
got them on the shelf at Sunbelt Supply. Call 225-753-6666.
There you go. He can do it all. All right. When we come back, we'll be joined by the head softball coach of the LSU Tigers, Beth Torina, here on Off the Bench as we slide into the series, brought to you by Small Sliders.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
To Ochsner.org today, Ochsner.org for all of your healthcare needs. Look, man, when you're talking about Ochsner, you're talking about the service that they offer are bountiful. And it doesn't matter if you're on the North Shore, you're in New Orleans, you're in Baton Rouge. Ochsner has facilities for you. Check out Ochsner Performance Training. If you're looking to get bigger, stronger, faster, junior high, high school, it doesn't really matter. They can help you accomplish those athletic goals with the latest and greatest in training techniques. And then also check out the new football academy that they have. Or if you just have any orthopedic needs, you got like wrist, elbow, shoulder, anything, let Ochsner be your guide to getting your health back and getting back to that quality of life that you had previously. Don't just accept that you have to have these nagging issues for all time. And don't just think that you automatically know what the solution is. Is it surgery? Potentially. Maybe it's not. They have the most cutting-edge non-surgical techniques and the best physical therapy facilities in the state. Go to Ochsner.org.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned vehicles, with prices starting as low as $5,000. Bayou Ford will get you the transparent information you're looking for, and when you're ready to purchase your new vehicle, provide the professional service you deserve. Located off I-10 on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
From the makers of Blue Moon comes Light Sky. An extraordinary citrus sweet brewed with real tangerine peel, only 95 calories. Welcome to the light side of the moon.
Yo, Jacob Hester here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, the place that can be at your convenience during those inconvenient times. I know they've been that for me. I've got 4 boys, right? So sometimes stitches happen, and they have 6 convenient locations, one close to you, to be able to be convenient for you. Remember, you can also check in online. PatientPlusUC.com is the website. That way you skip the line as well. Patient Plus Urgent Care Center. Get in and get better.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans. That's why we're highlighting the fans that do the most. 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out at 1045ESPN.com, the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week.
Or is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Thursday, May 6th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 81. In case you missed hour one of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Coming up in hour number 2, LSU head softball coach Beth Tarina joins us next, and LSU head baseball coach Paul Maneri stops by at 8:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch us live on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and get inside the Bayou 4 chat. Make sure you subscribe to the Off the Bench YouTube and set your notifications. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, and welcome in hour number 2 of OTB here with Richard Dixon, Mario, and Danny. Excited to slide into the series brought to you by Small Sliders as we welcome head coach of the LSU softball program, Coach Beth Tarina, back onto the show. Coach, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
All right, so D1softball.com did some research, and you probably won't be surprised to hear this, but not only is LSU softball number 1 in strength of schedule this season, it's all but certain to enter the tournament with one of the best strength of schedules we've ever seen in softball. And they did research all the way back to 2007, and they said nothing has even come close in the research they've done in the last 14 softball seasons. But that might be a big-time stat to a lot of people, like a surprising stat. But to you, I'm sure that is, okay, yeah, I believe that.
Battle tested. That's what I have to say. Battle tested. These girls have been through it, and it has been a challenge for them mentally, especially with the youth of our team, you know, and it's kind of good though, right? They don't know anything different. These young kids, they don't know anything different moving forward. So I think they're going to do big things as we keep building and keep going in this season. There's, you know, the best of softball left to play for us. So we're proud of the season. We're proud of the resume we've put forth. And, you know, I hope that the committee will look favorably on some of these big numbers we have.
Yeah, and I think that if you were in Tiger Park over the weekend, you could feel in the atmosphere just how big of a series that was between two really good softball teams. And I actually caught up with Coach Deifel yesterday on the SEC channel, and she said the same thing. She was talking about how great y'all's program was and what it meant to go in there and win 2 of 3 because it was like this postseason atmosphere, and it was 2 really good softball teams. And obviously you want to win the series, but Coach, I mean, you could feel that like your team is right there with the team in Arkansas that just won the SEC regular season title. I mean, a couple things go here or there, you win that series. So your team is not only playing this tough, number 1 strength of schedule that we've ever really seen, but you're in these games, you're winning a majority of these games, and you're right there to be that team that you want to be in the end.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, if Arkansas is, 1, we're 1B or whatever right now, we can definitely play with these guys. We're right here with them. And yeah, that's where we'll need to be as we get assigned our regional pairings and move forward. That's where we'll need to be. I mean, one more tough regular season weekend here with Auburn. You never get a break here or there in the top 25 RPI too, right? But you never really get a break. So I think moving right into the SEC tournament, our team's in the spot where we need to be.
Coach, this is Richard Dixon, and I was reading up on the program a little bit this morning, and some of the things are just, to me, are amazing, and it just proves how dominant you've been since you got to LSU, averaging 45 wins, 4 trips to the College World Series, and to me, one of the coolest things is seeing that you've been ranked every week since 2014. And I was talking to Jake in the break. It's got to put you up there as the most dominant sports program on campus.
Oh, well, I don't even know what to say to that because LSU is just crazy incredible with all of the athletics programs that we have here. So I don't know if any of that's true, but I love being LSU. We work really hard every day. with these ladies. We have the coolest team right now that loves to work. I tell you what, they are competitive. They are always at the ball field. They love to work. Last night we took a minute, had some crawfish, and played some spicy Uno.
Oh, yeah.
A game called Palace. And I tell you what, they'll compete at anything. It gets ugly. So, but I really appreciate those words. Thank you.
Hey, don't worry, Coach. Me and Matt Flynn almost came to fisticuffs many, many times over an Uno game. Like, if you're not compassionate and competitive in everything you do, then you probably can't just flip that switch, right? So it's okay.
Totally. It was on. I mean, there were like chairs flying, people standing. It was it was hot.
Oh, you love to hear that. All right, hey, Coach, we do got to point out one of your players, and yet again, Allie Kaponen has been so dominant. And over the weekend, she pitched 12 innings, only giving up 3 hits and 2 earned runs. I mean, she has really gotten into this groove where she's almost unhittable. I mean, the things that she's able to do, like to go out against a top 10 team in Arkansas, an SEC regular season championship team, and to do what she did with 12 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, that just tells you that she's in a spot to continue to be ready to go when the postseason comes.
Yeah, I really think as we keep moving forward in her career, we will hear so much more about her, and I think people will start talking about her among the best of the best. I think she's just at the beginning of her career of what she's capable of. So I'm excited about her. I thought the entire pitching staff was strong. I thought Shelby Sinceri threw an absolute gem on Saturday night, too, just allowing the 1 run. We just couldn't get to their pitcher that night. And then I was so proud to get Maribeth Gorsuch back on the mound after everything she's been through. It was just awesome to see her back out there trying to get herself going again. And the toughest thing for her was just to take the mound. And she accomplished that.
All right, Coach, you mentioned you lose Saturday's the first game there. You lose 1-0. You hold them to only 1 run. So I know you've talked about it before, trying to get the bats going a little bit earlier in these series, in these game ones, and so you don't have the hill you have to climb in the last 2 games of the series. Is there anything you can see on tape, from game ones, or has it just been that's just the way the season's kind of played out?
I wish I had that answer. I'd love for you to come look through the film with us too, and let me know with your with your eye. But I really just chalk it up to our youth, and just it's like they have to test the waters a little bit, and then they dive in. I do think Arkansas's pitching is really the top of the top right now. So I think that was tough, but I think the week before we were able to score in the first game 5 runs. We just couldn't quite get a big pitch at the time we needed it on the other side. I think we've been playing better game 1. So I think this is the week. This is it. This is the one.
All right, I'm glad. See, you read my mind. I was about to get you to preview the Auburn series for us. You mentioned top 25 in the RPI. Kind of give us the book on what you expect to see from Auburn.
Well, Auburn has really good pitching, too. They're bringing in a really strong staff, similar to what Arkansas does, 2 completely different looks, a lefty that spins it, and then a power righty, that tries to throw it by you. The good thing is they're both freshmen, so hopefully we can get a lot of fans out to Tiger Park and put them in front of something they haven't ever seen before. So that'll be the goal, to make it very uncomfortable. But they are talented on the mound, so we'll have our work cut out for us.
All right, I'm glad you mentioned that. Tiger Park, obviously, it's a home series. Last weekend, you got your chance to open it up, and you had the ability to have a full crowd. So what was it like to kind of get that buzz back into Tiger Park and to kind of get the numbers up a little bit and to know you were in this big-time series after being so long without fans? Well, at least, full capacity fans.
It was incredible. It was incredible to see. It was incredible to feel, to hear. But the best thing about it was it just kind of felt normal. Like maybe the whole thing is moving in the right direction here. Like we're getting closer and closer just to being in our spot where we want to be, all of us, not just LSU softball, but, it felt normal, and it was so awesome. And I'm excited about senior weekend this weekend, have people out to celebrate these awesome seniors that have played here now for 5 and 6 years. So I'm excited to have people come out this weekend and celebrate them.
Coach, did you see a difference in any of the freshmen get to feel that full capacity park for the first time at LSU?
I think even the kids that have been here for 2 years, the COVID freshmen or whatever we want to call them, I think those guys had never seen the park like that too. So I think it might have even been a little bit of shock for them in the beginning, but that's who we are, man. That's Tiger fans, right? They come out strong, they come out loud. That's what LSU is. So I'm glad they're getting to experience that.
Hey, last one, Coach. With the SEC tournament coming up here after this Auburn series, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Missouri, all in striking distance of LSU to be able to get a better seed in that SEC tournament. Is that something as a coach you pay attention to, or you just want your team playing the best once they get to the SEC tournament?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I've done all the math. So,
See, I love the transparency. Because we all know coaches do it, but at least you'll tell us the truth, Coach.
You don't hear a coach admit that.
Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you for actually telling us that.
just you guys.
Okay. Fair enough.
Nobody can hear me, right?
Right.
So,
off the record.
But exactly. The key, though, and this is like the coach speak, but it's real, is none of it matters if we don't play well. Like, ultimately, we have to play well, or none of it matters. You're wasting your time, right? We just have to play well. But, there are some outlier spots where we could jump into that 4 spot. There's also where we could end up as far down as 8. So it's a crazy league where everybody is so talented. Everybody makes the postseason out of our league. The majority of them are in the top 25 or top 25 RPI. So it's really a crazy league down to the absolute last game. So we just have to play well, and that's all we can control.
All right, Coach, you're the best. We always look forward to having you on Thursdays. Best of luck against Auburn. We'll catch up with you after the series and preview that SEC tournament.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a great weekend. All
right, you as well. There she is. Coach Beth Torina does a fantastic job. As Richard said, been ranked. She's been ranked since 2014.
I mean, I know we kind of talked about it. She was going to give a humble answer about it. But if you go to her tenure here, it was 2012, I believe, they got to be the most dominant, sports program on campus. You've had national championships, and of course, football's had their good teams, but they have not been, that consistent, that dominant. I mean, baseball, they've had really good teams. Yeah. They got 4 College World Series appearances. I mean, averaging 45 wins. I think she's up there.
All right, that was Beth Torina as we slide into the series, the softball series for LSU softball. When we come back, we'll slide into the baseball series with Paul Maneri and the LSU Tigers, all when we come back on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, we were brought to you by Central Plumbing, and I got called out this morning by Richard Dixon. He said, I was listening to you yesterday, and you talked about when you had a water heater issue and you had an emergency and other companies was telling you you had to replace the whole thing. Central Plumbing came out, they fixed it. It was a quick fix. He goes, wait a minute. How did you know that if you had other companies come out because they came and looked at it first? I messed up.
That's family.
I messed up. This is before I was dealing with Central Plumbing. You know who I text? I text T-Bob. He gave me Central Plumbing's number because I had the other guys come out and they were trying to get me to replace the entire tankless water heater. Central Plumbing, they came in and said, you don't have to do that because it kept giving us trouble. They said, fix this and you're going to be back working at 100%. So don't mess up like me. Make the first call, Central Plumbing, because that's the only call you're going to need to make. 225-925-8552. You can check them out online at centralplumbing.org. That's 225-925-8552.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned vehicles, with prices starting as low as $5,000. Bayou Ford will get you the transparent information you're looking for, and when you're ready to purchase your new vehicle, provide the professional service you deserve. Located off I-10 on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jdacody.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At front to back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to front to back boat service.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343.
Join us for our Thursday's edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time, presented by Bed Rivers, live from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Hanny and Roscoe will join Jimmy and Wayne Colucci's hockey picks. We got action. It's Game Time. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back into Off the Bench here with Richard Dixon on a Thursday morning. Going to continue to slide into the series brought to you by Small Sliders. Just caught up with Coach Beth Torina now. Coach Paul Maneri, the LSU baseball head coach, joins us as he does every single Thursday morning. Coach, how you doing this morning?
Good. How you guys doing today? Got the old band together again, huh?
Oh, yeah. So,
this morning?
Hey, Coach T-Bob, I mean, who takes vacation in May? He's in Cabo. He's in Cabo all week long. So, you know what we did? We went to the bullpen, and we got an LSU football player, you know, somebody that has thrown out a first pitch at LSU, and he's still got he's got many memories of that first pitch.
Speaking of that, Coach, speaking of the bullpen, I was telling Jake back in 2008 after the national championship, you know, I was a young, cocky kid coming straight out of shoulder surgery, and was going out throughout the opening pitch. You stopped, you pulled me to the side. You said, "Hey, you going to warm up?" I'm like, "No, Coach, I'm good. I'm going to go out there and just throw it." And you go to the bullpen. I was like, yes, sir. I'll go down there right now.
I was just looking out for you.
Yeah.
I was just trying to help.
Coach, you'll coach anybody. And of course, I'm going to listen. I'm like, "Yes, sir, I'm going right now."
Absolutely. All right, Coach, obviously we talked about it last week, facing the number one team in the country in Arkansas that came into the box over the weekend. You're able to get that last game, Game 3. How important was it to get that game? I mean, just mentally and just heading forward as you get into the latter part of the SEC, you know, to get that last game, even though, like, you know, like if you win the first two but you lose the third, like, it's a different feeling. Same thing if you win that third game. It can give you some positive momentum, and then you parlay that, obviously, to a 10-2 victory over Southern. So how big was that victory for your team?
Well, it was huge, of course. Arkansas had a great team. There's no denying that. You know, through the time I've been at LSU, we've had great success against Arkansas. We didn't make a big deal out of it, but let's see. I think I've coached against Arkansas now 14 years, and we've won 11 of the series against Arkansas out of 14 years, including this series that we just lost. So we play Arkansas with a lot of confidence, even though they have always had great teams. And the opening game, Landon Marceau pitched about as well as you can pitch. He had them no hit for 6 innings. Unfortunately, we couldn't do much with their left-handed pitcher on that opening night. But even though the score was not indicative of the game it was, we had a lot of confidence against them, even though we didn't win that opening game. We had to move Sunday's game to Saturday afternoon because of the rain, and that game got away from us early. AJ just didn't have his normal stuff, and things got out of hand. But we still went into that night game feeling that we could play with these guys, and we got an early 3-run homer. We scratched a couple other runs across, and Mikhail Hilliard pitched marvelously. And then our bullpen was good. Garrett Edwards gave us 3 super innings, and then, even though Fontenot gave up 3 runs in the 9th inning, man, he was throwing the ball really well. It's just Arkansas has a good hitting team, and they were tough on him. He was throwing the ball 96 miles an hour, and he gave up 3 runs, but he got the last out when he needed to. It was a great victory for us, and I think it gave us a lot of confidence going forward. So, I told the guys before we played Southern on Tuesday, I said, I always preach one game at a time, and we're still playing it. You can only play them one game at a time, but I kind of drew up the big picture for him, Jacob, and I said, look, we got 3 weekends to go. We got 12 ball games, including 3 non-conference games. This was before we played Southern. And I said, here's the picture. If we can get the job done in these 3 weekends, even though we're not in a position that we're normally used to, we're normally used to playing for SEC Western Division titles or SEC championships. If we can still get the job done in these 3 weekends, there's no question that we'll make the SEC tournament. There's no question that we can play in the NCAA tournament. And if we get in the NCAA tournament, everybody starts on a level playing field. If we're playing good baseball, you're playing really good baseball over the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season, you make some noise at the SEC tournament. This is what we've done for years and years at LSU in the baseball program. We get hot at the end of the year, and we make our run. And we can turn what's been a grind of a season into something, pretty good, set the stage for the future. So that's kind of been our attitude as we're going forward, beginning, with this week. And we had a good win on Tuesday against Southern. After we following up the win against Arkansas, and here we are at Auburn, ready to strap it on.
Coach, is that one of the things that you were most proud of about this team? Is it seems like they never quit. Whether you're down big or you lose the first 2 in a series, it seems like this team always either wants to come back or end on a good note.
Well, you guys are athletes, and you know how hard it is. A lot of people that have never been in the arena just think, you throw that jersey on, it says LSU, and you're supposed to win. But it's hard to win. And the other team gives scholarships, too. The other team has great athletes. And you get tested sometimes. Sometimes it's not as easy as people think it is. And, you play athletics because you're gifted as an athlete, but you learn life lessons. And sometimes you get knocked on your backside, and you got 2 choices. You can lay there and give up, or you pick yourself up by the bootstraps and you come back fighting. And when you pick yourself up by the bootstraps and you come back fighting, you learn a lot about yourself as a person. And those things will carry you through life. But life is not easy. You're going to go through life, and you're going to have a lot of setbacks. And you remember those days as an athlete when things weren't easy and you get knocked down. And those things will carry you through life. And when you face those setbacks, you'll remember those days as an athlete when it wasn't easy. And this is why we do sports. And I know it's entertainment for the fans, and I know, you want to win championships and so forth, but there's a bigger picture there, I believe. And these kids are going to remember these days, and I think it's important for them to finish strong and not to give up. And that's my job as the coach, is to make them understand that even though it hasn't gone exactly as planned, there's still a lot to play for.
Coach, someone, speaking of finishing strong, that, wanted to show what he had left in the tank was Mikal Hilliard on the last game of the series against Arkansas, to come out there to give you 5 innings, only give up 2 hits and 1 run. I mean, as you know, Coach, in Game 3, ever since you had the injury to the starting rotation, getting someone that can be that consistent in that role, I mean, just talk about him staying focused and being ready for that moment.
Yeah, I'm really proud of Mikal because, as a freshman, he did some extraordinary things for us. And then he's had some injuries and he hasn't pitched as well, during his sophomore and junior years. And now in his 4th year, he's done it. He's been in the bullpen. He's had some glimpses of pitching really well, but it's been inconsistent. And now, he could be that spark plug for us as we're making our stretch run. And, he pitched great on Tuesday against Grambling, but of course Grambling is not the number 1 team in the country like Arkansas is, and he rose to the occasion for us, and it gave us a real spark. And if he can continue to do that for us, over the final stretch here, man, what a lift that's going to be for our season, and what a lift it's going to be for that young man as well. I'm really proud of Mikal. It really is going to be a great story if he continues to do that for us.
All right, Coach, as we preview the series, which starts tonight against the Auburn Tigers, you're already in Auburn, getting ready to face them and getting ready for that series. This is only the second SEC series for y'all that will not be against a highly ranked baseball team. But as we know, it's the SEC. They've got Jimmys and Joes. So kind of give us a small preview of what to expect from the Auburn Tigers.
Jacob, I sit around sometimes and think about what could have been for us. We've had 3 or 4 games that we could have won or should have won, and where our record would be if we had been able to just get that last out against Tennessee, or those last 2 outs against South Carolina, or held on to a 9-1 lead against Ole Miss, and with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Then you look at Auburn, oh my goodness, they played 18 of their 21 games have been decided by 1 or 2 runs.
Yeah.
They could even say what we've said, only times 5 probably. They've got a good team. They could really hit. They've struggled on the mound, but they have not given up either. And I got a lot of respect for them. They've played hard. Last weekend, they won 2 out of 3 at Georgia, including a 14-inning thriller where they had the lead 2 or 3 times in extra innings, and Georgia came back and tied it. And then ultimately Auburn prevailed 14 innings. I mean, that shows a team of character. And they're playing with confidence, and they're thinking the same way we're thinking here with the last 3 weeks to go in the season. So we got our hands full with these guys. There's no question about it. And they were in the World Series 2 years ago, and they've got a few players back from those teams, and they're gonna they're gonna come out and play as hard as they can, just like we are too. So we got our hands full. Just because of their record, don't think they're going to be easy games. Just like with us, their record is not indicative of the caliber of team that they have. So we got to strap it on and give it our very best, just like they're going to give it to us.
Hey, Coach, real quick, and I think I know the answer to this one, but any decisions so far who starts Game 3 for you?
You know what, Jacob, I'm just going to do what we've been doing. We're going to try to take it one game at a time, right. Do what we got to do to win this first one, and then try to win the series. And then if we get to Game 3 and Mikal hasn't pitched, he'll obviously start Game 3. But I hope that's where we are. I hope we get to the position where Mikal can start Game 3, and we've got 2 games in the hopper already. But I don't want to say for absolutely certain. I mean, obviously, I would like to pitch him in Game 3, but I want to keep them available just in case we can use them to try to win Game 1 or Game 2.
All right, Coach, I know we've gone really long with you, but I've got to get this one in. Matthew Beck. I don't know what you do over there, but Dixon was telling me during the break, he was bringing up a great point. Austin Bain goes from a pitcher to leading the SEC in doubles. Todd Peterson hits one off the wall. Matthew Beck, 103 miles per hour off the bat. What do we got going on over there?
It's probably a misuse of talent. I probably have talent waiting on the bench that I haven't been using, huh? My goodness. But, those pitchers have been telling me all along that they're the best athletes on the team, and I don't believe them. But I'm just so happy for Matthew. He's such a wonderful kid. I mean, he's like the type of young man you'd love to have for a son. And, And, it's just been so sad that he got injured this year and hadn't been able to pitch. But I told him a few weeks ago, I had him in my office, and, we talked about things. And I said, look, I want to get you out on the field one more time. Just be out in front of the crowd and have your name on the loudspeaker. So don't be surprised if one day I tell you to grab a bat. It's like, he perked up. And things just lined up the other day. Everything was perfect. And I told him after we had made the last out in the 7th inning, I said, hey, if the score stays the same, I'm going to have you hit for Dugas. You'll be up third in the bottom of the 8th inning. And he about flew off his seat. He started looking for batting gloves and a helmet and a bat, and it worked out perfectly. And, man, he gets 2 strikes on him and drills one to right field. It was unbelievable. Oh, it was the highlight of the year. Everybody was so fired up for him.
Oh, the juice it gave the team's reaction, that was one of my favorite parts. Just everybody was so happy for him.
Well, that tells you what everybody thinks of the kid, thinks of him. Everybody just loves him so much, has so much respect for him.
All right, there he is, Coach Paul Mainieri, the head coach of the LSU Baseball Tigers. Coach, we always appreciate your time on Thursday mornings. Best of luck coming up tonight. You can catch that game on ESPN on TV and, of course, Eagle 98.1 here on the radio. Best of luck to you, Coach.
Okay, guys. Good to be with you.
All right, there he is, Coach Paul Mainieri. That series, again, does start tonight. That is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. Again, you can listen to it on Eagle 98.1 starting at 6 o'clock tonight. All right, we'll take a break as we just slid into the series, brought to you by Small Sliders. Go ahead and stop by for delicious sliders, milkshakes, fries. We promise you will not be disappointed. And if you watch us on the Draft Companion show, you know we love our sliders here on OTB. All right, that was a lot with Beth. And with Paul, we got a lot to break down. We'll do all of that when we come back here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, All-Star Toyota is the place to go if you're looking for anything. When I say anything, I mean anything, because we tell you all the time, if you go over to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, they're going to have something that fits your lifestyle and your needs. And it's not only going to be one choice. They have multiple sedans. They have multiple midsize SUVs, full-size SUVs, trucks, whatever you need, they've got you covered. We all have different needs here in this room, right? Dick Dixon wants to drive a truck. Well, they've got the Tundra. They've got the Tacoma. I need the full-size SUV, but also I found out I can fit in the midsize SUV. We've got 4 car seats. We've got the sports equipment in the back, and the 4Runner, which is a midsize SUV, has plenty of room for us. Of course, the Sequoia is that full-size SUV. The Highlander is another midsize SUV that fits our needs and our lifestyle. So go check them out, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com, to find something that you'll fall in love with and drive off the lot extremely happy today.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Full hour of football talk with Mike Detillier, and we'll preview LSU Auburn from the Plains. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in. Off the Bench here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 in New Orleans, 94.7 in Ellick, and, of course, 1130 a.m. The Tiger and CST. Prestige Worldwide. Let's go.
There you go. With all that Prestige Worldwide, give me a Copenhagen sponsor.
Yeah, you did just try to get one during the break. I don't have any ties to Copenhagen. I thought you were a Grizzly anyway.
No, I'm a Copenhagen guy, but, I mean, it's gotten so expensive. In Louisiana, it's dang near $7 a can.
Hey! In Louisiana, it's dang near $7 a can.
You can get 2 cans of Grizzly for $6. So, I mean, it's just kind of a no-brainer. But that Grizzly, it just tears your lip up. I need to get back on Copenhagen. So, if you give me a sponsor,
are you saying it's like the Grizzly is like the great value of...
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, when
tobacco.
you can get 2 cans for the price of 1 can of Copenhagen, I mean, and you dip a can a day, you probably need to save a little money.
Dips a can a day, wait, that's dick. But anyway, you like that?
That was nice. You little freestyling guy.
Yeah, no big deal. Yeah, so if you're listening, go ahead, my guy, give him a sponsorship. Let's see what we can do there. All right, so we got a lot to break down. Softball and baseball both have series against the Auburn Tigers, one in Tiger Park, one on the road there for the baseball team. And Coach Maneri was talking about Auburn, and don't look at their record because they are, look, they're 5-16 in SEC play, 19-21 overall. One of only 2 teams that has a losing record in the SEC, Missouri being the other one at 12-29, I believe. Okay, so that record, you look at it, you're like, okay, wait, LSU, you finally get a breather. Now, he's exactly right. If this team had a closer, I don't know where they would be. I mean, they cannot finish games. And look, bad teams have faults, and that's their fault. So it's a weakness. It's not an excuse. LSU's got to go exploit that weakness. They've got to take advantage of whenever you get into the bullpen, you try to get to the bullpen a little bit quicker when you know they struggle out of the pen. That's on LSU. And this is a team that's got swept by Ole Miss. They got swept by Kentucky. They took 1 game from Arkansas, but they lose 2 of 3. Swept by Mississippi State. They lose 2 of 3 against Alabama. They lose 2 of 3 against Florida. Now, they just won their first series, and that was against Georgia. And that was on the road, and Georgia had been pretty hot. We all saw what Georgia did to Vanderbilt, winning 2 of 3 there. So they just won their first series. They come in, I guess you want to say, as hot as they've been, but it doesn't matter. LSU has to go win this series.
Yeah.
There's no excuses. There's no reasons why they shouldn't. LSU is the better team. LSU is more talented than Auburn. Auburn's got some guys, but you're LSU. I know it's on the road. Go win this series. At minimum, you've got to win 2 games here.
Yeah.
Because if you want to get to the postseason, if you want to get to that record that you want to get to, you need to take 2 of 3 from a team like Auburn, where they sit. Yes, they've had some close games, but go take advantage of what they do and what their weaknesses are, which is once you get to that bullpen, they are an atrocious bullpen. Go take advantage of it.
You got to pretty much win every series from here on out. And, I mean, you do have to win every series from here on out. And Coach, he said it's one game at a time. That's the way you got to look at it. But, he doesn't – there's no excuse for a young team anymore. And Coach brought that to the point earlier, I think last week on your show. These guys are battle tested. They've been in. They've played a majority of an SEC season. They're no longer freshmen. We should tell everybody that Game 5 in football, you're not a freshman anymore if you've played in 5 games. And that's where this team is. The team has a lot of hope. They're getting better. They just got to, go out there, take one game at a time, win the series, and see where it goes.
If you look at the standings, LSU right now, they're 7-14. You have to find a way to get to at least 13 wins. Like, that's kind of the number. And your RPI, because of your strength of schedule, is going to be actually pretty good. But you've got to get to 13 wins because Baseball America put out their field of 64, their projected field of 64 yesterday, and LSU was not included in the field. In fact, LSU was not one of the members of the first 4 out. There was an SEC team that was included, and that was Kentucky. So LSU has not only a little work to do, but they've actually got a lot of work to do. They've got to go win all of these series, and you would assume that means they've got to go to Hoover, and they've got to do something there as well, because Baseball America as national seeds has Arkansas 1, Vanderbilt 3, Mississippi State 5, Tennessee 7. So all of those teams top 8 seeds. Ole Miss comes in at 9, Florida at 13. Once you get past that, South Carolina gets a 2 seed in the Charlotte region. Alabama actually gets a 3 seed in the Lubbock region, and Georgia a number 3 in the regional there in Greenville, for East Carolina being the host. Like I mentioned, Kentucky, part of the first 4 out. LSU, one of only 4 SEC teams to not be projected to be either in the postseason or a first 4 out. That's not company you want to keep.
No, I mean, when you're reading, just hearing that right there, 13 is not enough. I mean, I don't even think 13 is enough. That's a number that they say the magic number you got to get to. But hasn't LSU, I want to say, in the past had 13 wins?
Oh, they very easily could be left out.
Mm-hmm. I just think it's everything hasn't gone the way they wanted to this year, and they had a lot of young guys early on. There's a lot of talent, a lot of fun things to watch, but 13, I don't think it's enough.
You need a sweep.
You got to get a sweep.
I want to see 2 of 3 in at least 2 of the series, and then a sweep in one of them.
Get to 14.
Get to 14, and then you can start really having that conversation because of what your strength of schedule and your RPI is going to look like. And they also have a chance in the midweek to gain some RPI points. You know why? They're playing Louisiana Tech.
Mm-hmm.
And Louisiana Tech is going to host a regional. Louisiana Tech is a top 15 baseball team. You've already beaten them once on the year, but that is a baseball team right now that you can pick up some RPI points from because of where they're ranked. So it's a midweek game that I would assume it's in Tiger Stadium, Alec Box Stadium. So it's going to be a chance for you to pick up some real RPI points. It's not going to feel like a normal midweek game. It already doesn't because it's an in-state game and all those type of things. But right now, when you look at it, they are hosting a regional. They are the 12th overall seed. So they're a national seed right now, Louisiana Tech. You have that opportunity, so you got to take advantage of that game as well.
No, it's good timing. Like you said, I think the way it needs to all play out is you get a sweep, you win 2, and then you get a big win against Louisiana Tech, a national seed, and it kind of gets your name back out there and bumps you maybe to that next 4 or in the bottom.
All right, we do need to take a break. When we come back, we are going to tell you why the NFLPA is really bad at what they do here on OTV.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to GEAUXroof.com. 927-8300 is the number to call. I just spelled it out for you, but GoRoof.com. GEAUX is the number
Well, that's not a number, is it? That's a website. It's the website to go to. Look, when you call Go Roof, first off, you're going to get an idea what it's like to work with them and deal with them, and you're going to really enjoy that process. But more so than that, you're going to get that free professional estimate. If you think you have a roofing problem, call them. They come out there. They look at your situation for free, so you make a fully informed decision about, okay, what do I want to do next? They're, of course, licensed, bond, insured, and they offer a 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty. So they stand by their work before, during, and after the process. And you'll find that when you work with Go Roof, you get a beautiful new roof every single time. So what are you waiting for? GoRoof.com, 927-8300. When they answer the phone, hit them with the Roof Stop.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
What if you could truly energize your body and mind from the most fundamental level, your cells? Cellivate is a revolutionary health-aware approach to energy, focus, and mood enhancement, packing everything you need to optimize your mind and body from the inside out. The unique formula combines top-notch cellular energizers, nootropics, herbal extracts, and powerful antioxidants, all in one sugar-free 12-ounce can. Elevate your cells. Cellivate.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned vehicles, with prices starting as low as $5,000. Bayou Ford will get you the transparent information you're looking for, and when you're ready to purchase your new vehicle, provide the professional service you deserve. Located off I-10 on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off.
Join us for our Thursday's edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time, presented by Bed Rivers, live from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Hanny and Roscoe will join Jimmy and Wayne Colucci's hockey picks. We got action. It's Game Time. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back into OTB. One last segment here with Richard Dick Dixon before he takes off for his real job. So we do appreciate you hopping on with us this morning, Dick.
No, I appreciate it. I'm off today. I'm just got to finish
Oh yeah.
moving.
Well, you're not off. The missus has you working.
I'd much rather be working at my real job than unloading another storage unit.
All right, so I mentioned before the break the NFLPA is bad at their job because something has come to light that I was never made aware of and current NFL players were never made aware of as far as getting injured away from the club facility. And Denver Broncos player Jawan James suffered a significant, probably season-ending injury while working out at a private gym away from the club's facility. Now, he is set to make $10 million, but apparently injuries sustained while a player is working out on his own in a location other than an NFL facility are considered non-football injuries. And with that being said, there is a likelihood that the team does not have to honor the contract, and he could be out $10 million.
What's the current policy? I know, on the COVID year, they couldn't work out at the facility. So you expected none of those guys to go back to their home gyms and work out?
And so, you have teams now, because of how it worked well for them last year, guys like, we're not coming for the offseason workouts. Now, when I was in the NFL, plenty of guys did their own thing. Antonio Gates did his own workouts until we started OTAs. Sean Merriman did his own thing.
Yeah, the guys who got paid. You wanted that $500 a week workout bonus.
Right. So some guys just did it away from the facility. We were never told one time that, hey, if you work out on your own, like potentially, like we all worked out.
Yeah.
Like I used to go back and work out with Tommy Moffitt in March and April leading up to when we went back to San Diego. Like if you so you want me to do nothing from like January until July, August? Like a lot of guys work out on there. So if I go back after OTAs, if I go back and I'm running stadiums and I slip and I fall and I break my wrist trying to break my fall, but I'm running stadiums after OTAs, Coach. I'm not getting paid?
No, I think that's like, I would highly doubt they don't pay him. If he's a guy that's in the program that everybody relies on, they know he was doing the right things, off campus to make the team better and make himself better. They're going to honor that. Now, is that a loophole that they could possibly get out of? Maybe you see that with somebody that they want to ruin a relationship with, somebody they don't want back on the team. But for a guy that, like him, working out, getting ready to make the team better, himself better, I would suspect that the NFL takes care of him.
Again, the NFLPA is extremely bad at their job. They don't do anything, in my opinion, to educate on the things that they don't care about. They don't do a really nice. They do nothing, actually. I was trying to put that nicely. They don't do anything as far as helping you transition to life after football, which you might say, oh, you're a grown adult, like you just transitioned. Think about it. You've been playing football basically your entire life. You've been playing in college. You weren't able to go get a normal job in college because you were doing football and doing your academics. And then you play in the NFL, and you've always been a football player. And I'm not saying they have to hold your hand, but have programs in place. Hey, have this course, have this 2-week course to help you transition, because I've had teammates take their own lives. I mean, it's been that serious because they get out of football, they don't know how to transition, life hits them fast.
I think it's the biggest problem is, the mental health of a lot of former football players, and people think that, you got it made, you made money, you did this, you did that. But you've been great at something your whole life. It's not like you're going to be a doctor or you're going to be great until your 60s, 70s. Or you've been an attorney. You're going to be at the top of your game to your 60s and your 70s. You've been at the top of your game, and for a lot of us, that ends at 24, 25. And you go from being the best thing, great, everybody looked up to you, everybody wanted you, to being really a nobody. And a lot of people don't know how to handle that. Like you said, I've got friends and teammates that have took their own lives over it. And I think it's something that's not talked about as much because there is no transitioning. And these guys mentally can't handle it when they're no longer great at what they do. They're just average. Yeah. And it's a toll that it takes on the brain.
Yeah, so this is just something else the NFLPA, I feel like, has done a poor job of, because if I'm not mistaken, they were kind of behind, like skipping the voluntary workouts. Like that was something that they were getting behind as far as, hey, we didn't do it last year. There was great offenses. The injuries went down, all those type of things. And now if you do so and you get hurt, like we saw from the Broncos offensive lineman, I mean, you potentially could miss out on a large payday. Now, if you're a smaller salary guy, maybe the NFL club doesn't do anything. Maybe they do pay your money and It's more of a, hey, this guy's going to make $10 million. He's not going to play for us. We don't want that on the books. Those type of things. But that's still not the right way to do business.
It's not the right way to do it. I think they got to have something. I get it if some guy's going snowboarding and blows his knee out, and you're like, okay, that was stupid. You shouldn't have done that. Or, going skydiving or doing something crazy and getting hurt. But when you're trying to make yourself better, they got to put some wording in the contracts where it allows you to work off site and be protected.
I just know too many guys that have places they like to go during the off season where that's how they feel comfortable getting ready for the season. You don't just get ready for the season in July. You get ready for that season in the spring, in the summer. And there's some guys that they're always there during OTAs and minicamp when they're supposed to be. But as far as just the everyday workouts, they got places in Dallas and Miami or wherever it might be that's where they feel like they need to go get ready.
They know how to
Arizona's a big one.
That's how Sue was. Sue never worked out with the team. He had his thing in Oregon, and they took care of him. But he, like you said, he never missed OTA. When he was supposed to be there, he showed up. But he didn't want to disrupt his routine.
All right, Dick Dixon, we do appreciate you sitting in with us and filling in for 2 hours for the Cabo vacationing. He better be tan when he comes back, T-Bob.
It must be nice. I enjoyed it, man.
Must be nice. When's the last time you've gone to Cabo?
Oh, I was I've never been to Cabo. I've been to Mexico.
All right. Yeah, coming up in hour number 3, it's Thursday. It will be 9 o'clock, so you know what that means. Rivers Huey is going to come sit in and co-host the last hour of the show with me. Excited to catch up with Rivs as always. We still got a lot planned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Hour number 3, OTB, OT.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, Rejuvame Medical is the website that you need to go check out if you want to feel like your youthful self. If it's something that you've been struggling with, right? You wake up and you're always tired. You don't know why. You say, wait a minute, I feel like I got a good night's sleep. I don't know why I'm sluggish, why I'm lethargic. That's because you need to go see the team over at Rejuvame, because every one of us in this room is going to age different. Like, we all know that. So go check out the process. It's a 3-step process to get you back to feeling like your youthful self. And you might not have testosterone problems, right? Just don't think this is a T problem, because I tell you my personal story. Actually, I have high testosterone, but there's other things. In fact, there was 3 things that I needed to work on to get back to feeling like my youthful self. So go check it out. You can request a consultation right there at rejuvamemedical.com on the homepage of the website. And you can always call them and set it up at 225-230-4201.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
This isn't just another day, it's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At front to back, they got not 1, but 2 NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to front to back boat service.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
This hour is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Thursday, May 6th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 81. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Coming up today on OTBOT, Rivers Huey sits in for the third hour. You can follow today's show on Twitter and Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch us live on the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel and get inside the Bayou 4 chat. You can also check us out on Cox Sports Television. OTBOT starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
All right, yo, welcome into hour number 3, OTBOT. Jacob Hester alongside, that is not Richard Dick Dixon, that is Rivers Huey, although they both did wear the Reebok Classic.
We did. I feel like Dixon caught my style a little bit.
Maybe it's a Mississippi thing.
Maybe so. I didn't realize we were going to do this until I was walking out of my house and I caught a glimpse of him. And I was like, man, we should have talked about this. We're committed. We are now a Reebok state. So...
Ooh, how mad would you be if Mississippi State switched to Reebok? It'd be a bad day.
It'd be really sad. I have a lot of Adidas gear.
I was about to say, you're an Adidas fan.
Sad. Yes.
That's something that's like hip and cool now.
But I didn't.
The Adidas gear. Danny's a big Adidas fan.
Into Adidas because of Mississippi State. People think that they draw that correlation, but I was always an Adidas fan, and it just happened to be that my school.
So you were above the trend. Like you were already Adidas ready before it became cool with all the TikTok aged people.
Yes, because I am 10 years removed from the TikTok aged people. But I think, too, it's one of those things where styles come and go. They come and go. It's circular. Adidas was cool, in like the 80s, 90s. Yeah. My dad has always been pretty like cool and hip, I'd say. And so
I feel like there was an ish.
Well, he's a dad. He's a dad too, so I don't want to give him.
What's that mean?
I don't want to give him too much credit. He still does dad stuff, but I like to mirror a lot of my style choices from him.
Fair enough. Yeah. By the way, I never thought I would see like Champion brands come back. Fila has come back.
I have a Fila shirt. Maybe I'll wear that one next week.
So see, you're trendy. I had like Grant Hill had a Fila shoe back in the 90s, and I had that. And there was like a quick, hot second that was like cool and popular, and then it quickly went away. Then they ended up at like Payless. Now
you can find Umbros at Target.
Now, I'm all about Umbros. You know,
really?
My soccer,
can you believe that though? Like Umbro. When's the last time you saw?
Love, you know, I'm Umbro.
When's the last time you saw Umbro shorts somewhere? And now they're in Target. I mean, it's coming back. And
I almost wore my Umbro jacket. I've got
an
Everton Umbro jacket. We would have been hip and cool. Instead, I got Hummel, which is like only an English brand. Nobody even knows what it is here. Maybe Danny does. I don't know. Probably not.
I feel like I should thank the TikTok crew, though, because this has always sort of been my style. And before they made it cool again, I just sort of looked messy. Or like, I was always wearing T-shirts and tennis shoes. And maybe like I needed to like dress up a little bit more, but now it's cool to dress like this. And so, I'll wear my joggers and my Reebok.
All right, inside the Bayou Ford chat, the Reebok direct deposits coming through soon. Hey, we're not going to turn it down.
Look, Reebok,
Bank account
if you're
is open.
listening,
So you're trying to get
Venmo is
this
open.
must be a Mississippi thing. You're trying to get a Reebok sponsorship. Dixon earlier was trying to get a Copenhagen sponsorship. A little bit
Dixon,
different.
what are we
but
doing
still.
here? He was talking about how it's like rubbing his mouth raw. If something's doing that to your mouth, just stop doing it, Dixon. What are we doing here? Like,
It's a vice.
we need to have a talk.
It is a vice. Okay, I did want to get this story in with you because it's one that I feel like was avoidable, but it was not avoided because for some reason, and it happens to every coach, when they get into their touchdown club where they feel comfortable, and every SEC coach and Power 5 coach, and I'm sure every coach has like a touchdown club that they go and they speak to, and you get confident, and you probably say things that you normally wouldn't say, like if we had you on this show as a guest. But Jimbo Fisher at their touchdown club for Texas A&M was talking about Alabama and Nick Saban. Obviously, they know each other
As
very
one
well,
does.
being assistants, yes. And said eventually that's going to be us, talking about A&M beating Alabama. I respect everything they do and how they do it, but we can do it just as good or be just as good or better, and we will be. So, Jimbo, I love you. You helped me in my career. The only reason I played running back was because of Jimbo. But I will be the first one to tell you, you realize what you say in that conversation, in that setting, is going to be spread across, and now it is. Now it's the top headline on ESPN.com. When you click on college football, it's not 1991 anymore. If you say something, it's going to be recorded and it's going to be put out there.
It's going to live on the internet
And it does.
forever.
And I know Jimbo, and he hates stuff like this getting out there. So it's not like one of those deals where I probably wanted it to get out there. He didn't want that to get out there.
No. Now he's going to have to play it off. Like I told you, I had just seen the headline on ESPN. I had no context, but I just remember like glancing at it and just sort of shaking my head like, come on, Jimbo, what are we doing? So he said something like,
It's not even the worst part.
I'm not going to wait to beat Alabama until Nick Saban retires.
Yeah, he
Is
said
what he
that. And his quote after that was, we're going to beat his ass when he's there. Don't worry.
Although, look, I got love for Jimbo. I love that he just looks like that divorced dad. He doesn't care. He'll wear a tracksuit. It doesn't matter. He's got a dad bod.
That was not a great look for my boy.
I kind of loved him for it, you know? Like, he's got his tracksuit bod going. Sometimes he shaves. Most of the time he doesn't. He looks like he just sort of rolled out of bed. He's very relatable. He's very relatable. But you can't say things like this.
No, you cannot, because it's going to get back, and it already has. It's out there now. And as we know, Nick Saban is like, I don't even know what you want to call him, like the Death Star. Like,
Yeah.
that's what he is.
Crimson Emperor.
Yes. And so he sees all of this. And there is that stigma out there about Nick's assistants against Nick. They just don't have success. In fact, they've never had success. Like, they have not yet beat Nick Saban in a game.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, and y'all help me out if I'm missing somebody, Coach O, I know, is beating him, obviously, in the SEC. Is there another active head coach, now that Gus is at Central Florida, that has actually beaten Nick Saban in the SEC?
I think that's it. Yeah, we're
I
gonna.
think that's the list. Okay?
Cool.
So, if you're going to pick a fight, I know they always tell you in school, go punch the biggest, baddest dude right in the nose, and
Maybe
you'll
just
be the
leave him
alpha.
alone. Like,
yeah,
I
but
don't
just
know.
don't do that. Just don't poke him.
Well, yeah, he didn't punch him in the face. He just kind of irritated him a little bit. As a player, though, how do you think Jimbo's players feel about this? Do you think that this like hypes them up?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. There's probably some that, hey, coach, chill.
Reel it in.
chill.
Reel it in.
But like the players, some of them probably like it, but I'm never a fan of putting this stuff out there until you've done it.
Just do it. Mhm.
Yeah. Now, if you've done it, and look, Lane is like the master of putting stuff like this out there. And
He
sometimes
does it
comes to bite.
intentionally, though, I think.
He does it intentionally. Others don't. And Texas A&M's feeling themselves a little bit.
Mhm.
Texas A&M was the last left out of the playoff. They were the number 5 team. They almost got in. They beat North Carolina in the Orange Bowl. They've got that momentum as far as we finally did something. Because before that, it was nothing. Right? And everybody said, A&M's coming, A&M's coming. Well, finally, they've done something. And a lot of people want to say, look at what LSU did in 2018. They won the Fiesta Bowl against Central Florida. look what we did. We won the Orange Bowl, right? And the next year, what LSU do? They won a national title. So they're feeling themselves a little bit right now.
I feel like that would be a funny. I don't know. I feel like that would be a little bit of a reach for them. But maybe they'll do some extra Alabama rain dancing at their yell practice, and they'll get it done.
The yell practice really bothers me.
Look, by the end of the show, maybe I can get Jacob in here swaying around. No. We can practice our yells.
So I remember when I went on my official, maybe it's an unofficial visit to Texas A&M, and they were playing Nebraska, and Nebraska was still in the Big 12 with A&M, obviously. And Nebraska had already gone past their heyday. They were it was like the beginning of the Nebraska that we know now, but Nebraska upset Texas A&M, and there was a small portion of the Nebraska fan base, because it was a great game. I think it was an overtime game. They win, they storm the field. And you would have thought like they were stepping on the holiest ground of all time, and all the cadets were pulling their swords from Texas A&M.
Sir, what are you going to do with that sword?
They were pulling their swords.
I didn't know they had swords.
Oh, they've got swords. They were pulling them out, and they were like holding them up, like threatening these Nebraska fans, and all these bros that do this. They were like fighting Nebraska fans, like throwing real haymakers. It was the wildest, most cultish thing I'd ever seen.
I can't believe they have swords. That seems dangerous. Like, what were they going to do with those swords?
I don't know. I don't even know if they're sharp. I don't even know if they're sharp or if they're just like dull. But they pulled them out. They were like, you know, like you're ready. Like they had like their wide stance, and it was like right here. They were pulled.
I've been to
and
one
A&M
A&M
leaders were like
game.
trying to throw a haymaker.
I know. That place is wild. I mean, but it's very military. And so,
yes.
You know, I can see where that can kind of look cultish when you're in a university setting. But I've only been to one game, and I went to the yell practice, and then we went to the game, but I was so far up, I couldn't really see all the stuff. And we were at the very top, and the whole stadium sways, and I do not care for that. Does Tiger Stadium do that?
Not really. They do the swag surfing.
Does it sway, or does it like just the?
It just sort of
move.
No, I
really
feel
sway?
like, I mean, it doesn't sway enough to where it's gonna fall down. But the wind, it was windy. There was a lot of cheering.
You didn't know.
I don't love
and
it.
you didn't want to fact check.
I'm not trying to. I don't want to know for sure. So we didn't stay the whole time, but it was an interesting experience.
Look, I've told this story before, but I will never forget being out in California. We were in a high rise when I first got drafted there, before we had kids, of course, and we were going through an earthquake. And we didn't know that the high rises in California are actually made to sway. Like that's what they're made to sway when there's an earthquake. We didn't know that information. I mean, when it started happening, we all three were just sitting there like basically like holding the walls, like looking at each other, because this entire 25-story building is swaying.
So I'm no architect here, obviously, but I still can't wrap my head around why you would want that. Why do you want the building to sway?
Hey, Brother Martin graduates?
That is not a thing we do at Brother Martin at all.
So anyone in the chat, let me know. I'm sure there's probably a very easy, simple answer that I'm just too dumb to come up with. But man, that would be terrifying.
I didn't learn that one at Louisiana State University.
Mississippi State definitely wasn't teaching me about earthquakes.
We don't have to deal with earthquakes.
We had tornadoes, and y'all have hurricanes.
Yes.
You know?
I grew up with tornadoes. I know about hurricanes now. I'm good there. Earthquakes, I've got nothing
Hard pass
for you. So, all right. When we come back, we've got another fun story. Someone who is much faster than anybody here on this set. We'll talk about that. It's got some Mississippi ties to it as well on OTB OT when we come back.
OTB OT.
All right, we're brought to you by the relaxation company at Pelican Point. And we've been telling you over the last couple of days, they have some Mother's Day specials going on right now. 20% off gift cards is one of them. The other, a $100 pre-made gift box, which includes a 60-minute massage, a robe, a soap, and a bath bomb. All that is a $125 value for only $100. That offer is valid until May the 8th, and free shipping is available upon request. You can find out more information not only about that deal, but the relaxation company in general at therelaxationcompany.org. You can also book your appointment online. So you go to the website, you book it on there, and they got a full list of services as well. So that way you can check out all the different things that they offer. Skincare services for the mind, body, and spirit as well. So not only massages. Again, the relaxation company jimsfirearms.org is the website. Check it out.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned vehicles, with prices starting as low as $5,000. Bayou Ford will get you the transparent information you're looking for, and when you're ready to purchase your new vehicle, provide the professional service you deserve. Located off I-10 on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Have you been arrested for DUI or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or
join us for our Thursday's edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers, live from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Hanny and Roscoe will join Jimmy and Wayne Colucci's hockey picks. We got action. It's game time. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
All right, welcome back in OTB OT here with Rivers Huey sitting in with us as she always does on Thursday late morning, right? It's late morning by the time you get to 9 o'clock.
Yes, I have been up since 5. I taught a class this morning, and then I got home.
I'll be honest, I don't know how y'all do that. You and T-Bob both. Like, I wake up early, but waking up early and grinding early, like from a workout, is a little different. Those days are gone for me.
I feel like you could do it. You got used to it. That's all it is. It's just
so you're done. Like after that
consistency.
workout, then you just do the rest of your day. Like you don't have another workout, right?
No.
Okay.
Today, and I was just filling in for somebody. Wednesdays are my big day. I teach 3 classes before 7 a.m. And so then I just go about my day before everybody even gets up.
Danny, do you work out before the show? I mean, you got that tight shirt on.
Danny loves to work out.
When do you work out, Danny?
I work out after.
I usually I used to be a person that used to like love working out late, but now since the show I started working out like after the show.
So a young person, people that age don't, if they don't have to get up very, very early to work out, they're not going to do that.
Yeah, I'm dead if I work out early.
So Katie and I usually go like after this show. Like,
Okay.
that's when we do it. But
It's a good time.
while the children are at school,
Mhm.
and I feel better about myself.
Well, and
I like-
everybody's body's a little bit different as far as like what your right time to work out is. And I think if I had to choose, my right time to work out is probably closer to noon. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
All right. Speaking of someone who's worked out way more than any of us here in this studio, that's DK Metcalf, the Seattle Seahawks receiver, of course, former Ole Miss receiver, who is trying to become an Olympic sprinter. And we've all seen the viral video of him chasing down Buda Baker. He got to 22.8 miles per hour, I believe is the exact number, which is just ridiculous. He's competing in the USA Track and Field Golden Games and Distance Open, which is Sunday in Walnut, California, and he's going to give it a go. And I think if he runs under a 10.5,
10.5.
so he will automatically qualify for the Olympic trials. And the Olympic official Twitter...
Or 10.05? Is that
I think 10.05.
Yeah,
I think that's what it
10.05.
is.
Yeah.
So the Olympic Twitter had a little fun with it. It's like, kind of said, hey, if you think you can do it and have real speed, we'll allow you to do this. Now, this is... Look, he's a freakish athlete. Track fast is different than regular speed, like on a football field. And you've got pads on, and 22 miles per hour with football pads on. That is really, really impressive. But they've been training for this their entire life.
Yes.
This is their moment. This is what they've been ready for. So does he automatically qualify for the Olympics?
No, he does not. I have several feelings about this. One, I think it's really great that he's doing this. He wants to try it. Let him try it. Like, he is an athlete. He is very fast. He wants to try to accomplish this. That's wonderful. Also, he's bringing so many eyes to this track and field event that would have never been there before. So that's awesome. Like, he's just bringing attention to the sport. So I know that there are a lot of track people out there who are losing their minds about this. You know, I can't believe he thinks he's in our, in our area or of athleticism or whatever, losing their minds. But they also should be thankful. Like, he's bringing a lot of attention to a sport that just doesn't get a lot, considering how great American track athletes are.
Yeah.
But
10.05 is moving.
So then people keep, I had to save this because I knew I would not be able to re-explain this, but people keep bringing up the 22.6 miles per hour. They're like, I mean, that's so fast. How could he not qualify for this? So this guy breaks it down. So many journalists are making a horrible math mistake, which
like
I've made many
a math
terrible
minor
math
at LSU,
mistakes.
and I'm going to make plenty of them.
So people are confusing top speed for average speed over an entire run. For a 100-meter sprint, you accelerate from 0, hit top speed at about 60 to 70 meters, then decelerate. If we give him plus 2 miles per hour on top speed without pads, etc., his top speed on the track is 24.6 miles per hour. His best 10-meter split would be about 0.91 seconds. Modeling acceleration, deceleration, this would put him in the 10.6, 10.7 mark.
Okay.
So
he's still got a long way to go.
He's still got a long way to go. So when you break it down like that, you really start to see how fast these athletes are. So I don't think that he will get there, but I think it's great that he's going to try.
Yeah, and he is a large human, so the fact that he can be in this conversation at that size is even more impressive.
Oh, he is a giant person.
Yes, he is. He's been ginormous. Like, even when he ran track at Oxford, I mean, he was huge.
Right, and that was nothing. I mean, he hasn't run track since, 2016 or something?
Yes.
So, I mean, it's been a minute.
Yeah, and Bilbo T. Baggins inside the chat is a big track and field guy, and he said Usain Bolt's top speed is 27.2 miles per hour. So the 22 that we're saying, and again, yeah, football pads on, but 22, we're talking about 5 miles per hour difference, which is obviously a large difference. So, all right, Mario, Danny, does he run under a 10.05?
No, that man is way too swole to be doing this kind of things. That's just my opinion.
He's going to pull a hamstring.
Oh, I didn't even think.
Like
the conversation we had right before you hopped on about getting hurt doing other things. Ooh, boy. All right, Danny.
Yeah, I don't think he does either.
Okay, is there anyone in the NFL that could run a 10.05? Could Tyreek Hill be the only one in the NFL that could actually do it.
I mean, could he do it? I mean, look, I would like to think that he can because I see him running. I'm like, wow, how fast. And truly, when you don't realize how fast these track and field athletes are running because it looks so effortless.
Not only that, but I feel like the conditioning that football players do are designed to make them big, and that's just completely conflicts with what track guys do as far as their training. So I just don't see that working out.
Yeah, I mean, the good Lord made me for like 11-yard intervals. So I know me personally, I've got no shot of running 100. Like I'm not even finishing the 100. So yeah, it's different. And people just always assume because you're fast on the football field that it translates, and they assume because you're fast on a track that will translate to the football field.
Well,
it's just
imagine
not
if
always
a track
the case.
athlete was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get drafted for the NFL next year." I mean, to these track athletes, that's what this feels like to them.
Yeah.
You know, like that
It's-
would be laughable. We would.
It's like every tight end that I've talked with since the Tim Tebow news came out. Like Ben Hartsock, someone I do a lot of radio with, and he played, I think, a decade in the NFL, played at Ohio State. And he's like, you know, I always love how when someone doesn't have a position, they're like, oh, we put him H-back tight end. He'll be fine. It's like, it's real disrespectful to what we do and the grind that playing tight end is. And it's kind of the same situation. Look, I can't drive that fast, so credit to you, DK. Don't get hurt. Go have some fun. Bring some light to the event. It's a great point that you made, Rivs, because it normally wouldn't be getting this much pub. Now you're going to get eyeballs. And just like I said with Tim yesterday or the other day, whenever that was, go live your dream. Go do you until somebody tells you you absolutely can't do it anymore. I am never going to hate on that. So if you want to do this, go do it. Don't get hurt. Stretch out.
Ooh, I feel like I am so nervous for those hamstrings. But I mean, I feel the exact same way. If this is one of his dreams, and it could be, it might not be something. People are acting like he woke up one day and was just like, you know what, I'm going to become an Olympian now, an Olympian. Maybe he has always dreamed of this, and this is just his opportunity. They're letting him in. He wants to give it a go. That's wonderful. So that brings me to this question I have. If you had to decide, and I know this is, you know, people do this a lot, but I think it's so interesting to hear what people, how they feel about it. What sport, Olympian sport, would you choose if you had like a year to train? What do you think you could train for in a year and then qualify for?
This was in the mailbag yesterday.
Was it?
No, but we more talked about like which would you want to do?
What
which
do
one do
you
you actually
realistically think?
That you could
you'd have a
succeed.
chance? Oh my gosh.
Wait, what'd you say?
That you could actually succeed at.
Yes. And I mean, let's take
Is baseball back in the Olympics yet?
Do you think you could qualify in baseball?
Baseball. I mean, that's the only shot I got.
I do think team sports might be the way to go.
U.S. doesn't qualify for the Olympics in soccer, so that takes that out.
I think team sport might be the way to go because you're the weakest link on the team. You just get in that team, you know? Yeah. But I don't, and you got to take out being able to be a dual citizen because apparently I was doing some looking into this. Apparently it's not that hard to become a dual citizen.
Are you about to try to make the Summer Olympic team for Ireland or something?
You know, I mean, apparently it's not that hard. And then you just get in that way. But so I think team sport could be good. I didn't realize this was a teammate, but you know, in rowing, the person who just sits at the top and they yell instructions, that person is part of that team. I think I could do that.
Do they get a medal?
I could manage. I'm a mom. I could manage rowers.
Okay.
If you train me for a year.
You're talking about you're the person on the mic, right? Just yelling?
Just yelling.
Yeah. That's actually really thought out in a good spot.
I put a lot of thought into this.
Hey! Row, you SOB. Row!
I'll learn some rowing terms.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sure they don't say SOB.
They might.
They might. You're right.
They might.
All right, Mario, if you've got a year, like honestly, like think about it. You got a year. Where are you going?
I'm going to stick by my answer from yesterday. It's not going to be easy, but and when I think of sports that don't really require as much athleticism or like significant strength, I'm going to go with archery and shooting. You have a whole year to practice your attention to detail, which obviously needs to be elite to do that kind of thing. But in terms of most realistic sport, I think I'm going archery.
I think that's a good one. I think any sort of shooting sport where you're
Hawkeye's an Avenger, so archery.
You can be old. You can be out of shape. You just got to
Do they
stand
have
there.
golf in the Olympics?
We should know that maybe.
I'm pretty sure they do.
I don't know.
Let's make sure.
You can be old and out of shape for golf.
John Daly.
Yes.
Danny, what was your answer from yesterday?
I said rugby sevens, but now that I'm thinking about it,
Rugby. Wow.
I played rugby growing up, so
you think you're an Olympian?
No, I just threw that out there. My real answer would probably be men's curling. I'd probably be one of the guys that like scrub the eyes.
Sweeps.
All you gotta do is get the broom. There's an art to it for sure.
I brought that up last night to Kevin, and he said that you can't just be a sweeper. You have to do both. But is that true? If you can just be a sweeper.
Well, Kevin doesn't know much about curling.
I don't know. I feel like there was a big boom in curling over the last,
It was. A lot of people went out and drank some beers and did it. I know we have some ice up in the Port City at the minor league hockey team, and they also turned it into like a curling deal with beers and everything after the puck.
Bad news, Hester. Golf has not been an Olympic sport since 1904.
It's too bad.
But it was at one time.
Yep.
So it means it can come back.
Yeah. What about like cross country skiing? Just walking on skis, right?
Probably.
I was about to say
it probably feels like you just offended like 3 people, but
I don't mean
maybe
to
not.
offend anyone.
Inside the Bayou 4 chat, what did Trendon Holiday run? See, Trendon was like a guy who ran the 60 because that was like he got to top end speed, but after that, when he ran the 100 and 200, he couldn't.
Yeah, slower.
He got a little bit slower. And people started to catch up with him. But the 60, that was what he was elite at. So everybody's got their specialty, and DK might even be better at the 200 than the 100.
I want to say I could be making this up, but I think I read that he ran the 200 in high school. And that's another thing. So with this event, there are 2 of the top athletes who are not competing in it. One's going to be competing in Asia in a race, and another one is actually going to run the 200 at this event.
Okay.
So 2 of the top 100-meter athletes are not going to be there. So maybe that ups his chances. I don't know. I saw Lolo Jones. She had a lot of thoughts on Instagram about this. She did a whole thing. Yeah. If you're interested in that, you could go look at it. But she was just breaking it down, and she, like us, does not believe that he will do it, but that he's an athlete, or like me, does not believe.
Knowing Lolo, I'm sure she gets kind of mad when you just assume, because track and field is obviously special, just like I would for football. Like, I'm like, you can't just go in here on this gridiron and do what we do.
Yes.
So I get it. Then, although Lolo's been a winter and summer Olympic
So she kind of did it as well with bobsledding. So I think she brought up the point about bringing eyes to track, and she was excited. She just said that, that if he does beat some people out, that they'll just say they were having an off day. They'll have a cop out, but she did not think he could do it.
If the football player is beating me, I'm holding the hamstring about 80 meters in. Oh, pulled up. I was going to beat him. I'm a closer. You just don't know that. All right, we are long for a break. We'll go ahead. We'll take that now. Still more OTB OT when we come back.
OTB OT.
All right, brought to you by All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. You can find them online, allstartoyota of BatonRouge.com. In the first hour, we told you about all the new selections over on the lot, no matter what you're looking for, Prius, Corolla. If you need a full-size, mid-size SUV, a truck, like we went through everything because they have everything for every lifestyle over at All-Star Toyota. But do not forget they have their used inventory as well, and they have the option to rent a Toyota. So if you're going on that beach trip, if you're going to Disney, if you've got a couple of extra people with you, or you have more luggage they can fit in what you currently drive, obviously you can go rent a car, and it is a per day rate that's going to be better than anywhere else you can find. Also, if you have a big vehicle, maybe I don't know what this life's about, but maybe you got to get away without the kids, right? Maybe you want a sedan, you want to downsize, and you want to take that on your weekend getaway. You can also do that. It is a per day rate with that as well. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I'm feeling good.
Yo, Jacob Hester here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, the place that can be at your convenience during those inconvenient times. I know they've been that for me. I've got 4 boys, right? So sometimes stitches happen, and they have 6 convenient locations, one close to you to be able to be convenient for you. Remember, you can also check in online. PatientPlusUC.com is the website. That way you skip the line as well. Patient Plus Urgent Care Center. Get in and get better.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
What if you could truly energize your body and mind from the most fundamental level, your cells? Cellivate is a revolutionary health-aware approach to energy, focus, and mood enhancement, packing everything you need to optimize your mind and body from the inside out. The unique formula combines top-notch cellular energizers, nootropics, herbal extracts, and powerful antioxidants, all in one sugar-free 12-ounce can. Elevate your cells. Cellivate.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Full hour of football talk with Mike Detillier, and we'll preview LSU Auburn from the Plains. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
All right, welcome back in OTB OT. Real quick, we looked up Trenton Holliday's 100 meters as far as his best personal record, and that was a 10 flat. So
he would've-
there you go, Trenton Holliday. Shout out. He was 6.54 in the 60 meters. His best 200 meters was a 21.31. Trendon could pick him up and put him down.
Mm-hmm.
That's
impressive.
Moving.
One of my favorite LSU players ever.
One of my favorite Denver Broncos ever.
Hey.
There you go.
Could be one of your favorite Olympians ever if you want it to be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just wild. I can't imagine moving that fast.
No. What a flex.
Ugh.
Like, hey, watch this.
It's casual.
I'm out. All right, Ribs, I know you had something you were passionate about that you wanted to get to as well.
Yes. So we all know that the internet can be a very strange place, especially somewhere like Twitter. A lot that can bring you down on Twitter, but there's also a lot that can raise you up. And a couple of years ago, when I came on to start producing Off the Bench, obviously people started following me on Twitter, and a lot of LSU fans who I really grown to love, and a lot of Mississippi State fans who just loved that somebody got to talk every now and then about Mississippi State on an LSU radio program. You know, like that's kind of cool. So I gained a lot of followers. There was one person in particular, his name was Hub Miller, and he's been following me for a while, and he was just always very encouraging about me sort of being a Bulldog in Tiger Country, and always really appreciated his replies. He's just always very kind, and we had a really good rapport on the internet. Well, it turns out Mississippi is a small place. I know his little sister, Emily, and we were in college at the same time. And she posted recently that that Hub had suddenly experienced a really serious stroke.
Yeah.
And he had brain bleed. He was in the ICU. And I just couldn't believe it. It just seemed so strange. One, connecting that I knew I really did know this person and how small Mississippi is, but that, this guy is in the ICU. And so he's been there since April 26th. He's a very young guy. I mean, it's scary.
Yeah.
He's around our age, and he has a wife and he has 3 children.
Oof.
And he's progressing really well. So some updates on that. If you have been following her, if you don't know, he's progressing really well. He's starting to breathe on his own. They're moving him to the side of his bed. He's doing really well. He's fighting really hard to get back to his wife and his children. And I mean, even small things like turning the Mississippi State baseball game on last weekend, he was able to give a thumbs up, which was a huge thing, a huge step. He's a giant Mississippi State fan. So I really wanted to give a shout out to him. And if you follow me on Twitter @RivsHuey, I have posted a link to a GoFundMe for his wife and children because while he is starting to progress, he is getting better. I mean, it's going to be a very long road ahead of them. And if you could donate, great. If you can't and you're the praying kind of person, then I know that his family would love any support, any prayers that you could send their way. And it's just, I know this is cheesy, but it's just a reminder that our time is not refundable. And it could happen to either of us. You have children, and I just think about what would happen to my children if something suddenly happened to me or Kevin. And it just makes me, want to do the things in my life that I always say I'm going to get to that I'm not, if you want to run that marathon, run your marathon. You're holding that dumb grudge. Don't hold the grudge, especially on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter.
Rodgers.
You want to learn how to play the guitar. Go learn Wonderwall. That's the
one.
That's the one. Go do it.
Just
do your thing and live your life knowing that. And if you get a chance, just send some good thoughts towards the Miller family and know that they would appreciate it.
That is awesome. Hey, Danny, if we could we share that on our Off the Bench Twitter page? That way you'll get that information. And like Riv said, even if you can't donate, prayers and just encouragement can go a long way in that situation. So good on you, Rivs. I appreciate you saying that. And I'll also share that as well, see if we can get some really nice money donated, because that is a very difficult time and you're not able to work, obviously. And so you're missing income there. So we want to make sure that the missus and the 3 children obviously are taken care of. You mentioned, Mario, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
as
that was
a
perfect.
little segue into what we're actually going to talk about here in this block. We've only got a couple of minutes, but Ribs, I'll let you set this up because I heard about this and I talked about it with Flynn yesterday. Group chat gone wrong, and we've all got group chats that we're a part of. We all have text messages, and some of us have probably said things in the wrong group chat before. Like you want to send it to the A group chat, but it goes out to the B one, and then once you realize it, your heart drops. All those things. Group chats are fantastic, but they can also be something that come back and bite you.
You got to be careful what you say in group chats because they can be leaky. They can be leaky.
A lot of snitches in the group chat sometimes.
You got to know who you're chatting with. So recently, I guess, Aaron Rodgers was in a group chat and he mocked the Green Bay GM with his teammates. Okay, so it is confirmed that his teammates by referring to him as Jerry Krause. So Krause, the GM of the Bulls during their run, the 6 NBA championships, was loathed by Michael Jordan for some personal moves. So my first takeaway from this was I didn't even think about the leaky group chat.
Yeah.
I was just like, wait a minute. So is Aaron Rodgers casually comparing himself to Michael Jordan? What a flex, I
don't know Aaron. I've said that's Flynn's guy, but I think he probably does.
Cool.
Almost
all right.
Look,
let's start there.
And last year, it's okay, cool. You want to draft a guy from Utah State? You want to move up to select Jordan Love? Okay, watch this. I'm going to win MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on real tight. I'll be right back. Right? It's kind of like the MJ, and I took that personally.
Yeah.
He took that personally.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I'm not even going to hate him.
good for you, Aaron
he's not
Rodgers,
MJ,
for just
but
being able to. He's not, but
he's
like,
only won one Super Bowl.
but to be able to do it and no one even blink about it, like that was the first thing I thought of when I read that headline. I was like, okay, he thinks he's Michael Jordan. But then I was like, oof, some teammates got you.
They did, because that had to come from somewhere. Somebody showed somebody the message, and they said this to somebody, and you know how it goes, like a telephone Pictionary. Who knows how it ended up getting back to the GM, but it did. I've never been in this situation because the quarterbacks I played with, they had great relationships with the head coach and GM, and the GM kind of catered to them because they were the franchise. And obviously they're in this situation because Aaron feels like they have not catered to him. He is the franchise quarterback, and they're doing actually things against him, and not just not catering, but actually going the other way. It's going to end messy. I don't know how it's going to end. I don't know what team he goes to.
So it's messy there, but this is a teammate who leaked this. So it's someone Aaron Rodgers feels like he can trust, obviously. He is in a group text message chain with this person. I'm not in a lot of just casual ones.
He's just like,
I know. Who is it?
It's this son of a...
So then, like, there's obviously teammates of his who are kind of like, let's put this out there.
It's not good.
It's not great.
It's not great that your teammates putting it out there and you're trying to, like, strong-arm the organization a little bit. You probably felt like you had everybody on your side, but apparently somebody's not on your side.
Right. So that makes me wonder, there's this one person, but, like, maybe it is more of an everyone. Aaron Rodgers.
All right, before we take this break, the team in 2021 that Aaron Rodgers plays for is?
Oh, I was like, 2021, that's this year.
That's this year.
I was like, who's he play for? Oh gosh, I don't know. I have to think about it. I know there's a lot of people hoping for the Saints.
No, whatever team you think he's playing for, say it with your chest out. Let's go. Come on, let everybody know.
Oh, no. Broncos.
I'm going to Denver Broncos as well.
Really?
I think there's a reason they drafted.
I was like, is this going to sound dumb?
I think there's a reason they drafted Patrick Surtain at number 9. I think he's going to be involved in that deal. I also think that the Green Bay corner from Georgia that they drafted is going to be a part of the deal as well. I think there's a reason they didn't select a quarterback at number 9, even though they traded for Teddy Two Gloves. I think it's all a big part of a big plan. He's going to be a Denver Bronco. Mario?
Yeah, me 3. I agree with you guys. Denver has the draft capital to make it happen. And if the Broncos with that defense get Aaron Rodgers, oh, man.
He's going to the Saints.
I knew that was coming. Oh, my God. I knew that was coming.
We shouldn't even let Danny open his mic.
Danny.
But look, Jeopardy is an option as well.
It is. Hey, sign me up. I've won a Super Bowl, right? I've done that part of it. I'm not going to be compared to Marino and the other greats that didn't do that. They're probably paying pretty well over there at Jeopardy.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I think I've seen clips of him doing it. He's really good at it. He seems like a natural.
Yeah. Let him do it. But he's got options, and I don't think the option he's going to take is playing for the Packers. So he'll be doing something different next year. All right, we'll close out like we do every single day, answering your questions. Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cole Coors Light, coming back on OTB OT.
OTB OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Ochsner Care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Ochsner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials.
Join us for our Thursday's edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time, presented by Bed Rivers, live from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Hanny and Roscoe will join Jimmy and Wayne Colucci's hockey picks. We got action. It's game time. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
All right, welcome back in OTB OT. It is time for Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Coors Light, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Sweet, and Vizzy Hard Seltzer. As you can see, if you're watching us on CST or YouTube, something T-Bob could never do.
Never. I definitely could not do that. That is so impressive. Those are not small cans.
Built like a hobbit. That's what I like to tell people. All right, Ask the Bench. Should we celebrate ties and flopping in soccer? No. Yeah, we should celebrate the draw part of it because it's a point system and it all adds up to the same like table and standings, right? You get a point for a draw, you get 3 for a win, you get nothing for a loss. The flopping, I could definitely do without the flopping. I am glad that the United States team doesn't flop as much as the Mexico team.
You can't tie in sports. You can't tie. Somebody has to win. Someone
Neymar
has to win.
Neymar needs to be in prison for his flopping.
Yeah,
there's a lot worse teams than Mexico.
I know there is. There's a lot worse. Who's the worst team when it comes to flopping?
Brazil comes off the top of that line with Neymar.
I'll never forget Brazil women faking an injury when they played USA in the semifinals, and USA still won.
Yeah.
So them.
I tell you what, the Eastern European teams, they don't flop. Like they don't. They're
just
built
like,
a little different.
Yeah, just in your face.
Yeah, watch Russia. And
yeah.
Like
I can imagine Russian people just tackling you.
They don't flop.
Yeah.
All right, Ask the Bench. Is Rivs nervous about the rematch of LSU versus Mississippi State now that Bo Pelini is gone?
Oh. No, I'm never nervous to play LSU. I always assume Mississippi State's going to find a way to break my heart in any given game, no matter what. So when you go into games like that and then you win, it feels really
That's a real loser mentality. All right, ask the bench. Do you think Aaron Rodgers actually wants to leave Green Bay because their alternate uniforms are hideous?
I mean,
they're retro
uniforms would matter to
those
me.
Are bad. Those are real bad. Speaking of uniforms, you might hear about that in a tier list tomorrow. A part of the uniform. Ask the bench, is maroon the redheaded stepchild of college colors?
I know everyone's going
redheaded.
I know everyone's going to think this is because I'm a Mississippi State fan, but I like the color maroon. I think it's a neutral. You can wear it. It's not too in your face. I love it. Maroon's great.
Yeah, said no one ever. Ask the bench, is there still a class at Mississippi State on cow tipping?
No. I don't know. Maybe was there ever? Probably not. We do have a vet school and we have lots of cows, so probably some cow tipping going on out there.
Ask the bench, can you actually root for a guy that can't shotgun a small beer? Talking about Aaron Rodgers. That was alarming.
That's right.
That was very alarming.
I could chug several beers in the time.
Yeah, that was not good. Ask the bench, should college baseball teams pay a fine for wearing black pants? They're going all in today. You're not even going to answer that one.
No, that's dumb. Although I don't like the black uniforms. I agree with Hunt.
All black unis are a bad look for baseball.
Hunt went all in.
He went all in, and you know what? Some of us were also thinking it, you know?
All right, let's see if we can get this one in. Outside of football, baseball, basketball, and soccer for Hester, what is your favorite sport? So I guess off the beaten path.
Yes.
Ooh. I don't know.
Beach volleyball's kind of cool.
Beach volleyball is cool. Danny's is going to be rugby. Mario?
Arena football.
Oh, my God.
That's cute.
That's like not even. Softball.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Softball.
I like that.
Love softball. Fast paced. The bases are closer. There's always action. You get a lot of dangers. A lot of them. Just out the park. This has been a lot of fun. So much fun. I think we're going to do the same thing tomorrow. Riz is coming in for the full 3 hours. We'll have the tier list. Megan making money. Hunt Palmer, all that. Join us. OTB.
OTB.
Have you been arrested for DUI or other traffic violations?